guys, welcome to the very first episode of The Complicated Apes. My name is Nishadi and this is Nadun and this is Gingy. So together we are going to be talking about very random topics that we find interesting. So we're going to be rambling along so you guys can, tag along with us.
Yeah, it's going to be very random and it's not going to make sense to everyone.
Yeah.
But we like to talk about these things because this is what everybody's talking about.
And it's not going to be very informed, statistical,
or
not even be accurate.
Yeah.
But we are just going to ramble.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about what we, like or what we're interested about. It's not like hard facts. These are our opinions.
Yeah,
so,
this is just how we feel.
Right.
And we just want to get it out there.
So much to start off, I've heard you, we've met last week as well, and we discussed when we were thinking about launching this podcast.
Right.
We were talking about this concept called monoculture, right?
Yep.
So what exactly is monoculture? Help me understand.
So basically, this is a topic that nobody actually talks about. Monoculture was there since our childhood and before as well. From the 50s itself, it all started. It's basically when one culture dominates all and every single person comes around it and gathers to it. So that's what Masang creates a nice community and friendship and bonds. So in the modern day, basically that doesn't exist anymore. We can clearly see that it doesn't exist anymore.
So is this a narrative or is it is it a psychological reality or is it a physical reality?
It can go both ways, Masang. For instance, look at fashion. Fashion is what monoculture is. We had those baggy pants, straight hair. That was a certain type of monoculture. And the way we spoke as well, right? We had certain slangs, the way we spoke. It all comes down to monoculture. And it's really sad, to be honest, see that monoculture is dying these days because it's more important right now than ever. It connects to everything right now. So it's pretty sad.
So you're basically saying that collectivism is dying?
It is
and
dying.
Individualism is coming out.
Yeah. It's essentially like isolation, right? Yeah. Everybody, we are isolated. And like you said, Gingy, TikTok is one of the main reasons because everything is super curated. Let's say I like fashion, I only get fashion related content. You like games, you only get game related content. You like politics, only political related. Only the kind of politics that you like. Let's say I'm into politics as well and I want to have a chat with you, but we can't relate because what he knows I don't know and what I know he doesn't know or he can't relate to it. So we're isolated, we're lonely.
We're lonely more than ever right now because our modern day capitalism is just designed to keep us on a screen all the time.
Right.
They don't want us to make social interactions with people or just have a conversation. And I know that a lot of people are lonely these days because I know a lot of my friends who are lonely and we are personally lonely as well sometimes. We feel we have so many things to talk about but we don't have anybody to talk about it. Even we who grew up in monoculture we are going out of it as well.
Yeah.
And we are becoming a very small group now.
And only part of our life was spent in monoculture, right?
Yeah.
Only part of our maybe in our childhood we played with friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But after teenage years we went into the phone. We were
we went into the phone.
Yeah, we've isolated.
And the thing is we have forgotten what it's like to be like our younger selves. We have forgotten that culture.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you remember old stuff, you're like, oh shit, I used to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly. That feeling of happiness.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's genuinely gone. Now it's when you step out, you're just trying to be perfect.
And it's like a complete different person.
It's like a complete different. I step out of my house saying, okay, I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be all happy and all that. But the moment I come into a situation, anxiety kicks in. What will that person think of me? What will this person think of me?
We are too conscious of ourselves now, no?
Way too much.
We take ourselves too seriously as well. We care so much about what people have to think of us, whereas everybody's super self-absorbed. This whole thing with this isolation situation where TikTok brings curated content, we are subconsciously trained to be super self-absorbed. Don't you think? We are self-centered now, right? If we see something we don't like on TikTok or even on Instagram, we are offended by that, also thinking, how dare you show me something that I don't like?
Yeah.
Right? We are triggered. Constantly offended, super self-absorbed.
Sure,
That is the case. If you look at it right now, back in the day, look at movies from back in the day, for instance. There was so much inappropriate stuff, but we didn't feel like it was inappropriate back in the day.
Exactly.
It was normal.
And Masha, it didn't have to be perfect either.
Yeah.
So with social media and all that, we are trying to emulate that perfection in our real life as well.
Exactly.
And we are trying to be very careful with our words. We are trying to be on point with our dress. Like, I think to a certain extent, I'm sure people have done that in the past as well. But right now we are trying to emulate that perfection, the milestone of perfection. We are trying to emulate that in real life as well.
Because Mashang, if we were perfect, God would have made us perfect. Even He was not perfect.
Right.
It's from our imperfections that perfection comes out. That's why have you noticed you tend to fall in love with someone that is not perfect.
Sure.
You will fall in love with someone who you will, I don't know, maybe you have not, I don't know. Right, it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
You will generally fall in love with someone who is imperfect.
No, you could.
Yeah,
I mean, I have, for sure.
We all have.
Yeah.
I mean, we all will.
We all have that
Imperfection.
Yeah, like it's impossible to find a perfect person. Whoever you come across will have a flaw.
You
Just
will-
that we accept them.
You will genuinely not find a perfect person attractive. It's not attractive.
It's
Yeah.
boring.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, does it relate to to like fetishes as well? Because some people have like acquired taste when it comes to the opposite sex.
It does.
Right.
It does. And
That's true.
I think it's just vulgarizing everything that's
Right.
there.
Yeah, because we are like everything is available to us, right? Back then everything was pretty scarce, and things were like more or less like you can say sacred, right?
Exactly.
In short supply, things had an element of fascination to it. But now that everything is available, people twist things because let's say you want an apple, but you want it in different flavors now.
Yeah.
So
And
something
I agree with that point and that's how monoculture actually plays into this because like information didn't go out as quick as right now. Like if you see something happen, if someone bombs my house, the entire world will know about it.
Right.
So there were only very few radical people who came out, like for instance, like AC/DC, Pink Floyd,
Right.
and certain people who were like, they were Kiss and all. They were coloring their faces with makeup, wearing drag. Those are radicals, Masha. Those are radicals who made a movement, and people also followed that movement.
Right.
And through that, created a cult, which actually created a generation, Masha. That's why kids nowadays, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they are longing for the past. Because right now, it's basically how I would describe this time is bland. There is nothing. Everyone has the same taste. Look at music. Did you know that rock music is non-existent now?
Yeah.
Rock music does not
Is it?
exist anymore. In the last decade, only 3 bands came out
Really?
that are new.
Is it Nickelback is one, right?
Could be. And so basically, there is nothing like that anymore. There is no movement. Like, tell me one movement that you can think at the top of your head that's like really monoculture worthy.
Well, Aragale was a movement.
But that was a very temporary movement, Masam.
Right.
Where is the steam now?
There's no lasting effect.
Yeah. So back in the day, Masam, exactly. The other problem was it was information. It just spreads so fast that we read about it and then we keep on getting information for a temporary bit. And of course the news and the media, they keep on hyping it up.
Right.
And then eventually people get sick of it. The dopamine rush goes down.
Right.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
like goes
people
up.
passes. Yeah.
So
down.
with like such a big amount of information like flushing into your feed, is there a possibility that will we ever experience another cultural phenomenon like that would last for a while?
I think we will because we are currently going through that stage. For instance, it's starting. Like for instance, now me and Nishadi, we knew each other on Instagram, but we were never like close. We didn't talk to each other.
Right.
But I think I spoke to you because regards of the talk host job and everything. But then we went on to a conversation about workplace.
Yeah.
And that itself is a subculture of monoculture. So then we just hit it off. Then we were just going on and we were relating. And this is not just me. This is happening everywhere in all offices. But it's just that no one really brings up the topic. But this is currently happening where toxic work culture is going insane. And
Just that people are so tired and they're like fed up that they will not talk about it. I had that experience too. Like, you're just surviving, you're just working because we're adults, we gotta work, we gotta earn. And then we're just like normalizing whatever experiences we go through until we come across another person who's going through the same experience.
Exactly. Now see, we found comfort in monoculture.
Yeah.
Now I find comfort in her because I know that she's going through the same thing and I'm not alone.
Exactly, and I can relate to him.
That is the strength of monoculture, Masha.
Right.
So imagine like we keep on connecting with one another. It'll create a community, Masha.
Yeah.
And it will encourage change as well.
Right.
Because, then
we'll all
larger
be
in
in
numbers,
sync.
we'll be stronger. And companies will obviously have to adapt to this as well. So if anybody feels like they're really being mistreated at work, no matter how much work you do or you're treated like shit,
No, I get it.
you're not alone. We are there as well. Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. And I have to say, I'm so exhausted from the corporate environment that I will never go back into it again. I'm done with the corporate environment because it's too toxic. And me and Nishad, we would have spoken for like hours about
So
it.
for me now, like basically I left a very toxic workplace and now I'm at a very good workplace when I'm very fascinated by this positive experience, right? Because I've been in like that experience wasn't that great like my previous experience, and now I'm in this amazing company and they treat their staff really well. It's a very positive work environment and I'm supported. So I really like that. But unfortunately, most of the time in Sri Lanka, you do find places where they are like, people are severely mistreated. Like I've seen most of my friends going through some really bad experiences as well. So I think there are good places that you can work at. There are terrible places you can work at. So if you are working in a good company, you can count yourself blessed for it. But at the same time, I think like when you are doing a job and you are being mistreated, I understand some people are stuck because of financial commitments or they can't find another job.
Exactly.
So I think collectively, like from the superiors to even the bottom line employees, I think it's time people do a little bit of rewiring when it comes to their mentality about supporting each other.
And I think there's layers to this as well, right?
A lot.
There could be pressure coming from the hierarchy. From
Hierarchy,
From all the way to the
Yeah.
bottom. So if the hierarchy is not proper, Masam, it layers down towards the bottom, latter area.
That's true. And also the other part is the peers.
Yeah.
There could be negativity and toxic behavior among peers as well, right?
Yep. It just takes one peer to ruin it all.
Yeah, one
It just take
bad
one
person to ruin it all, exactly.
Can spread all the rot. So, like I said, like we are having this conversation, but all three of us have this same common thing. I think even our camera guy has the same thing, I guess, going on.
Vidula.
Yeah, all of us are. Say hi, Vidula. Hi, yeah. So I guess all of us are facing the same thing and we all have this in common. And we are strong because of that, and you find a sense of calm and bliss when you talk about it with somebody else. Like,
exactly.
Unlike you go home, you're like, oh shit, my job is so stressful and I can't deal with it anymore, but I have no choice because I need the money as well. But when you talk about it to people that are going through the same sort of issue, it becomes normal.
Sure.
And you are fine about it. So that's also sub-monoculture, which is very interesting. I think we need monoculture. All the way. It's the most important thing, and it is happening, I think, only right now in Japan, whereas they are mostly designed, like, if you take Japanese, they are all about honor, working hard, and also that sort of stuff. And if you stray away from that, that's basically radicalism. Yeah. So basically they're doing like anime acting and all drag dressing, and that's basically a subculture of monoculture. And that's leading to a really positive way because now they are overworked and overstressed that they're looking to comfort in monoculture and that community. And they're really happy about it. They're really happy about that as well.
It might seem weird.
It might seem weird.
Yeah,
to onlookers.
For us, like we can't relate
but
to it.
But if they find some solace in that,
I mean, this 9 to 5 is weird. 9 to 5, you're in an office, and let me tell you something about offices. Masa, 9 to 5, your actual work is probably from 9 to 11. After you're doing nothing. You're basically just staying there for the day. You're wasting your time and your life in a cubicle.
Exactly.
I understand we need to make money.
And Moshan, you see people who have been stuck there for 30,
I have seen
25 years.
That's insane.
It's very depressing, to be honest.
Especially like let's say if your company doesn't offer you growth. And like there are people, like I've seen my father's friends, they have been in the same position for like 30-40 years simply because they didn't want to make a change, and unfortunately like they were in a company where the growth rate wasn't exactly that great either. The company wasn't supportive for them, and same prospects for like a good 3-4 decades.
And I feel like I feel like especially kids nowadays coming into the work environment, they have not been given any sort of brief as to how they should come into the work environment. So what they do is they think like, you have to overwork yourself. You have to kill yourself to the bone to get that promotion.
That's the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's the other end of the spectrum. Where you're just like destroying yourself. But then again, you're giving your bosses expectations of what a good employee should be.
But the same kids would give up. They'd give up and they'd move on.
Yeah, that's true. Though. I've seen a lot of people like in their early 20s.
They try hard. They try hard for a while.
But they give up if it
it
doesn't
seems
work
like it's not going anywhere, they'll give up much.
Which is a good thing, Masha.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a
positive thing about the Gen Z.
Because that sends a message to them as well.
Yeah. They're prioritizing themselves over like certain toxic practices, because we would work until we are burnt out. But for them, they think, okay, there's something better out there, and they would try to make their lives better instead of like being stagnant. That's a good thing.
Whereas the like the early millennials and also the like our adults, like our parents and stuff, their generation, what I've noticed that what they try to do, most of them, not everybody of course, but they try to go to the workplace, they try to drag their work as much as they can, just stay, and stay at one place for a long time.
Like that's what I said, Masha. So our actual work is from 9 to 11 only.
But they will drag it.
They will drag it,
They will seem like they're being productive, but
they'll just drag it.
We all know that they're not.
But then that's like just destroying efficiency. I mean, this is actually good for companies to listen in as well, because this will help them utilize their employees to a positive, in a more efficient way.
Exactly.
Instead of just keeping this culture of keeping them from 9 to 5, that it's basically just a power act. It's a power act from companies.
I think it's one of those structured things that's been coming down from generations. Nowadays, I've seen like a lot of companies adapt to like, work from home situations. I work in a work from home company, and it's really cool. Like, I just have to have my laptop, and I just have to do my work on the laptop, and that's super awesome. But the thing is, if you are a person who has to go to office, so when I used to work in media, I have to go to office. It's not like the studio is going to come to me, right? So that's necessary.
That makes sense, obviously.
Exactly, that makes sense. And sometimes, like at my previous workplace, obviously we would get work throughout the day. So certain fixed shifts are required. But apart from that, where like in other companies where you can just finish off your work whenever you want, and if you can leave, that's a great thing. I think it develops like people's mental health as well. Because being stuck in a cubicle, like I've never been stuck in a cubicle, thank God for that. Like because I worked in media, it was pretty like, the environment
chill,
was less restricted, right? But I cannot imagine surviving in a tiny cubicle for 8 hours every single day.
Never.
That must be pretty daunting.
That's pretty sucks. And like I said, that's how, monoculture plays into this.
Right.
Because we are so isolated, we don't really have anybody to tell these problems to.
Before you get to that, one thing that I have to say about media is like, no matter how much these companies, they try to make it corporate, you never attract corporate beings to media.
Nope.
I kid you not, it's not just media, it's everywhere. You do not attract any professionals or anything towards these companies.
Right. Especially if it's marketing and it's media, those are wild people. Like there are many.
There's like very interesting people, like very unique people.
And wild in a good way.
In a good way,
yeah.
Exactly.
You have to be thinking out of the box in order to be in marketing. Because marketing is not like something that you look at a form and you feel it. No, it's completely something that you have to think about, and it's a really tough thing. If you notice, all the people that really change the shift in humanity are a bit off. Everyone is a bit off.
I feel like even religious leaders are good marketers, right?
Yeah.
But
I think they're probably the best marketers.
They are the best radicals out there, man. That's like I said, it's right now. It's more radical to be a person of religion than being trans or a they-them.
I understand.
It's more normal to be a they-them than be religious. So obviously, when you move now, if you take Donald Trump for instance, that's how his movement happened.
Right.
Jesus is the way.
Yeah.
And he caught the US population just like that.
I don't remember who wrote the book, but I think that's what has laid the philosophical foundation for the Donald Trump's movement, which is the American Crusade.
Right.
I don't remember who wrote that book, Machan, but it's somebody who's in the Trump administration. So what he basically says is that it's basically a crusade. You know what the crusade was?
Yeah,
right? It was
yeah.
a war against the Muslims. So basically what they're doing right now is fighting a war, a trade war, by the way, against China and even the Muslim countries. So,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. So it's not, but I don't
Yeah,
think
it's the modern day crusade.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
modern
pretty
day
much,
crusade.
just in a different context.
It's in a different context. I mean, like I said, religion is so radical now. This is the only thing that's radical there. I mean,
Right.
like religion is basically the only thing that's radical now. Because it's so wrong to be religious rather than be a they-them.
Yeah, it's like the
Can you
world
see
is-
what's wrong in society these days? Why do you think we don't have any subculture or monoculture, anything? Everybody listens to the same music. Listen to the music, man. Oh my gosh, it's just beats.
There is no soul because see nowadays, okay, even music has become something that you have monetized completely. Yeah, obviously artists have to make money to survive.
definitely.
But instead of making like quality music like they did back in the day, all they want to do is make like a 30-second bop that will fit a TikTok reel.
Exactly, right?
And then you know, the next thing you know, you make some quick cash, you disappear. But you have ruined the music industry forever.
Ever. And the music nowadays, Masam, you can't resonate for it more than a week. I mean, it's really catchy. I love it.
Yeah.
But in a week, it's gone. So
Yeah.
we don't talk about it. So we don't like, okay, it's like I hear a nice song these days. It's not like I'm going to come and talk to you about it. Masam, did you listen to that song? It's amazing.
Yeah.
So we have no connection there, Masam.
Yeah, nothing of the sort. And also that like that audio will be used in so many reels, you're gonna hate it.
And did you know, like, basically the entire music industry has shifted over to electronic. Whereas, did you know that, like, recording on certain days, the air, the humidity, and the temperature actually affects how the instruments sound.
Yeah.
It's complete. So no track will sound the same, and re-recording the same track will not be the same. And studios actually back in the day liked imperfection in sound.
Right.
If you listen to a lot of old songs, they're not perfect. You can hear like weird bibs and bobs, but that's what gives the soul to the song.
Yeah, it makes it feel human.
Yeah.
It's a human experience.
It's how, and that translates to us as well. And then I like to come and share that with you and you. Be like, man, that song really hit me. You should listen to it. We put it, and then we listen to it together. And that creates a certain type of bond between us as well.
Yeah.
Which
You can't like do that anymore. You can't come and show a TikTok reel and be like, hey.
Yeah,
this
I can't come and show you a Sabrina Carpenter song and be like, hey, yo, you like this?
Yeah.
I like the beat. Like, no, there's nothing to it.
Music is a very interesting thing, no?
Music is everything, man.
I feel like it's patterns and it's a very dark dimension that I don't think we fully understand what music
we don't
is.
like.
Music is a language in itself. Like
Yeah.
it's not a you can consider music as a religion if you think about it.
It
It is
is.
a way of life for most people. Now imagine if you don't listen to music, what would your life be?
It's so
It would be
bad.
very bland, right?
Yeah.
Like, why do movies have like background music?
Exactly.
Like even if it's the saddest thing, like people are crying, the emotions are shown, right? But it has a really sad background music going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
That is to enhance that scene.
Experience and
Yeah.
create emotion within you.
Yeah, what's that connection with music and our emotions?
So there's this
That's
thing
a
called
great
the
question. That's
prison.
actually a fantastic question.
Exactly. Like I think I don't know who invented. I mean, obviously music was invented way back in the day, but I think our nervous system, like us as human beings, we respond to music more than we respond to anything else. I think even beyond love.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
we don't even respond to love anymore the way we respond to music.
Yeah, we still do have a little bit of love towards music.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's also slowly fading away because if you listen to the top charts, man, it's
Yeah, I don't look at the charts anymore because it's depressing.
yeah,
I
you're
don't
in the
recognize-
music industry and you know how
Exactly.
much it's degraded.
Yeah, like I like for the past few now that I'm out of radio, I don't check the charts at all because it's not necessary for me to do that. But even the past the last few years that I spent in radio, when I look at the charts, I'm like, what are these songs? And I started playing more songs from the late 2000s and the early 2010s, and they resonate much more in a better way than the songs from the recent years.
And-
because you can't remember a song for more than, like you said, for
Yeah.
more than a week.
And do you remember how when we used to when we were younger, we used to fall in love with someone and there was always that one song that defined them.
Yeah.
Remember, right?
But who's to say that doesn't exist? Like with kids listening to
That's the
modern
thing.
day
Now
music.
I'm kind of confused. Can you imagine them falling in love with a person and relating that to a Travis Scott song?
Exactly.
Yeah, you
Bro,
know what I mean. I mean, like I
you
love Travis
can-
Scott. Like I think the guy is great.
you
right?
can look at it like people are not falling in love these days.
Yeah, it's just some mechanical
That's also true.
process.
People are not falling in love. It's all just sexual interaction now.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk and say, hello, how are you?
And it's super rushed.
And for us to get to first base or second base, we had to go through a lot of
A
stuff,
lot.
right?
Sometimes months and months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's a process in getting to know that person. You like that person's likes and dislikes.
Exactly.
You get to know that person's hobbies. You get to know that person as a human being, right? Whereas now it's just all texting.
Wanna fudge?
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
done.
And like you be like, hey, do you want to go out for
Texting is
dinner?
not connection. You can say video calling. Okay, now we have technology. We can speak to anyone across the world. That is not human interaction.
Yeah, it's very
It will
mechanical.
never replace actual human interaction. A bubble will not reciprocate the feeling. Because like I can't see how you're feeling. I can't see your face. I can't see your emotion. Sometimes I could feel like you say you're okay, but sometimes subtle things will give off like you're not okay. But
Right.
I'm like, are you sure, Machan? If
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
next to you,
Yeah.
then you open up about it.
Yeah,
And you're
exactly.
like, actually, Machan, this is going on.
Because our nose doesn't work.
Exactly, because we just see like
Yeah.
a bunch of letters and we think that person is fine.
Totally fine.
Remember, we had this conversation on our group call like last week.
Exactly. I was
So
thinking about that.
exactly, like it had such a profound impact on me because I have like I usually text my friends because I can't I can't go and see them on a daily basis,
Exactly.
right? So I had this friend like I go and see her on a very regular basis, but because of our work schedules, we couldn't catch up with each other.
Exactly.
But I know that she does a very busy job,
Right.
and I was busy too, so I couldn't catch up with her. I just asked her, "Hey, you good?" And she's like, "Yeah." But I do know that she might not be good because, like it's work. Life happens, right? So actually go and see her, and she had a lot to say,
She had
and
a lot
I
to
had
say.
a lot to say too.
And the thing is, man, like I said, because I mean, I feel like I'm going to talk about monoculture a lot because monoculture really connects into everything we do.
Right.
It's what creates us. Like I say, it's what creates a community, and it's what brings us together. It's like I would love to meet my friends. I used to love to meet you all the time
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I had something to show you.
Yeah.
Like something that you might like.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, "Masa, Marimba, make a pen and you would come to my house." See, that's what created a bond between us because we had that subculture in our culture.
Yeah.
We had to meet up to show that. We couldn't send a text or anything. I mean, we did have technology, but I feel like we were not that advanced yet. And you used to come over and then
And මොකක්ද monoculture? Is it like belonging together? Like mono කියන්නේ one නේ? එකක්
Yeah.
කියන එකනේ.
yeah, so basically
Monoculture.
it's one culture. It's basically, like I said, radicalism pushes a monoculture. That's like one certain, now let's say who's a radical that we had back in the day? In our 2000s, what was the biggest radical? Honestly, I'm so out of the 2000s now.
I guess maybe Justin. No, it was 90s. No?
Yeah.
Lady Gaga.
Lady
sure.
Gaga. Yeah,
Lady
Lady
Gaga.
Gaga.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, Three Doors Down. And we had, and I remember you used to talk about certain music, Masan, this music is really making me sad, but I really love it. And I'm just like, yeah, Masa, exactly, that's making me sad too.
Right.
Like then we used to talk, after we spoke about that, Masan, we went on to a different topic. We
Yeah, you
went on to a
become
deeper,
friends.
Yeah, exactly. And then we spoke about more.
Linkin Park was one.
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park was, Linkin Park has I remember back in school, there was this whole trend where on Facebook, everybody used to use Bennington as
Yeah.
their last name.
Yeah, I did
You
that.
remember that?
I did that.
Yeah,
I was the one who did
the
that.
whole school was like that. See what I mean? Exactly. That's monoculture right there.
That's
That was a
monoculture
huge-
right
And
there.
we went to the same school, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that was crazy. That's
And
the whole
That was a big
phase.
thing in our school, man.
And the clothes, Masang, and everything, they played a massive part in
It was awesome.
So like I said, there were definitely subgroups between those groups.
Yeah.
But we all came together for that one thing.
Yep.
Like our personalities are totally different. You're an introvert, I'm an extrovert. Like if this happened nowadays, Masang, you would be isolated.
Yeah.
You will be at home by yourself. But because of that one shift in culture, Masang,
Right.
because that one singular mono person, it brought us together.
Right.
And once we actually got to know each other,
Yeah.
that difference between introvert and extrovert went away.
Went away.
I mean, if you think about it, this introvert extrovert thing was not a thing back in the day. I didn't even know what introvert, extrovert was until recently.
Yeah, even I was like, what are these things? And then I kind of like,
I
okay.
feel like we are labeling it so much that we are manifesting it.
Yeah, then if we feel like we don't want to go out today, instead of just saying, hey, I don't want to go out today, we're like, oh, I'm an introvert, so I'm just, you know.
It's a good excuse.
Yeah,
It's a good
count me
excuse.
out, you know.
And so we'll try to, we'll try to avoid human interaction and much rather stay home.
And like, don't you think depression, so whether there's introvertism or not, I'm not sure, but depression is partly because it's because you lack human connection, right?
It's one of the biggest reasons, because you're isolated, right? Like, let's say you go to work, but at work you don't find friends, right? You find your co-workers and you interact with them, and like, let's see, I've made a lot of friends at work, but the majority will always be strangers to you, right? You do your 9 to 5, you do your whatever shift that you have, and then you leave. You would cordially work with them, but they will never get to know the real you, right? You guys don't bond like that. So your friendships kind of fade away when you are working, because you don't have time to, bond with your old friends and stuff. You gradually become isolated. You turn to your phone. You watch Netflix. You scroll endlessly. And you kind of lose your human nature.
And it's kind of sad, like we are so connected, yet we are so alone. Like, why isn't this like talked about more?
And even with the what do you say, the hyper ambitious culture that they're pushing,
the hustle culture.
Hustle culture.
It's a bit too extreme, not a bit. It's pretty extreme.
It's pretty extreme.
And it makes us think that it's okay to not form connections and to use every bit of that time to improve ourselves, to maybe go to the gym or learn something, I don't know.
Yeah, like you saw that meme, right? When he was a baby, I could have bought these houses, but yet I was sleeping.
Exactly, yeah, like the picture of an infant saying, me wasting time instead of buying land or buying Bitcoin.
That captures it so well.
Yeah, exactly. That captures your point.
Yeah.
Which is so stupid, man.
We are not meant to hustle like that. Yes, I understand. We are supposed to be successful. Aren't we all trying to be successful at the end of the day?
At the end of the day.
But then again, we need to understand where to draw the line. Because what I've seen is like, okay, let's say you have, I have my car now. I would want to buy, let's say, an Audi. That wouldn't stop there. The next thing you know, I want to probably get a Range Rover. Then I would want to buy a Bentley.
Exactly.
That never ever stops, right? Yes, you have to progress as humans. But that being said, placing value on like how much you have in your bank account or what kind of brands you're wearing or the kind of vehicle you drive is going to definitely cause you depression.
Right.
Because you collect money for so long, you buy a vehicle. But while you're driving it, you wish that you were driving something better.
Right.
That's sad because you never pause to think about the blessings that you already have in your life. You forget that you bought this car with your hard-earned money. Instead, you're fantasizing about a fancier car.
Next big thing.
Yeah, it's like,
so
what else am I
it's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
You can get the latest thing you want, man, but the moment something new comes out, you want it.
Yeah.
You want the next big thing.
Let's say I bought my iPhone like yesterday. The next day, the iPhone 15 comes. You're like, now I look at this like, really?
Yeah, even my phone is just like, it's basically like how you feel about your phone. I just do the same thing, texting and...
Yeah.
This happened to me. I bought the 6S like a month before the 7 came out.
Right.
And I was devastated, bro.
Exactly. Well, see, that's the thing,
that's
right?
so much better.
Yeah.
But the thing is, your phone is perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's just that our mentality, how we're like, so to be honest, like I use my old phone, I use it for 7 years, right? And then only I upgraded to this. And I have no plans of changing this anytime soon because it's good to me.
I think I've come to that point.
Yeah, because it's useless. I'm not going to be spending so much for a phone that has the same functions just because it was released under a different name. Why should I buy it, right? Unless it has a specific use for it.
Yeah, and I think the modern day culture, I think why people do upgrade is like people think if you don't upgrade, you're not cool.
Yeah, like they're like,
cool,
oh my god, is that
matter.
like the 14 when you have the 15? Like, are you poor?
Honestly,
like,
if you check all the billionaires, Masang, I saw some prime minister of some big ass country, I honestly can't remember. He still uses an iPhone 7. Masang, he's like, why do I need to go to a different, what difference does it make? It makes no difference.
This is perfectly fine. I can text on this, I can take calls on this.
Exactly. So just because I walk into this thing with an iPhone 16, it makes no difference. Because at the end of the day, people are only focused about themselves. We are all thinking about what do you think of me, what do you think about that person thinks. Nobody's focused. I could dress nicely. Maybe for a brief second I might judge
you
you,
would
but
get
after
like
that it's like
a few looks.
done.
That's it.
And those connections are shallow, ne?
very
yeah,
shallow.
very shallow connections. That's another problem why a lot of people are depressed. I kind of realize this because back in the day, because of monoculture, like we had a lot of friends, right?
Yeah.
And apart from the fact that we had one thing in common, we were encouraged to try out different things. Now, let's say, for example, like back in school, everybody was into Linkin Park, right? I made friends with boys
Right.
because of Linkin Park who used to play stuff like cricket, badminton, soccer, right? So I got the chance to play cricket with them, play soccer with them, understand their point of view.
Yep,
Like, you
yep.
know, I had a glimpse of their life. Thanks to them, I experienced the good things in life because of this whole monoculture situation. Nowadays, if you see somebody, like, let's say you go out to have dinner or you randomly chat up with a stranger, right? The next thing they're gonna ask you is if you have a business or if you're interested in investing.
What's your plan?
Right,
Seriously?
like
Yeah.
literally nobody wants to have a conversation these days, Masha. It's either, so that's why I actually have more girls as friends than guys, because like women still like to talk and gossip about stuff.
Yeah, they love gossip. Right?
Men, Masha, they just meet up. It's like, Masha, shall we have a drink? Shall we get shit-faced?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what does that achieve? How does that connect us?
Yeah.
We'll be drunk and we'll have memories. What memories?
Yeah, you're gonna be blacked out the next
Yeah,
time.
what memories?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. And I think, like I said, like I'm just coming back to the whole phone thing, like, you know, how people perceive you. And it's kind of sad because eventually when you keep on doing that, your brain actually wires into that.
Yeah.
And that's going to destroy your brain, Maza. And the way you see society as well. And then we start to normalize it. Everyone starts to normalize it. And when it becomes normal, when something bad becomes normal, it's definitely going to be a paradigm shift in society.
Right.
In a very negative way.
Don't you think that's what's happening now?
That's exactly what's happening now.
I
Why do you
think-
think people are alone?
And we're looking at people like how somebody would look at a bargain sale. You get what I mean? Like you go and you see a crowd of people, somewhere you go and look at them, okay, who's gonna be advantageous to me? Like, you know,
Yeah.
okay, does that guy have like a company where I can invest in, or does that guy have like a job where I can take up? Or wait, will that girl collaborate with my brand? You know,
Right.
it's always about building, not building human connections. It's cracking business deals now, right? And it's sad because they give you the once over, they look at you like, oh, okay, she looks like she's well to do. I'm pretty sure she has something in store for me. It's like, oh, that guy's wearing a Rolex, might be my next investment option.
And that's the funny thing. Those same people that pursue those connections are the same people that at the end of the day are extremely lonely.
Yeah.
Because they have wired their brain to work like that they don't want to have anything meaningful with anyone. And that will translate to everything, to your relationships as well. Relationships, it's going to go mental. And then those people also who you are trying to make connections with, they won't make connections with you.
Right. So just to play the devil's advocate,
Yeah.
what if some hyper-driven individual
Okay.
who only looks at people as objects that he can take advantage of, you know, financially,
Okay.
and what if you ask somebody like that, are you satisfied with your life? And he replies, he comes up with a reply saying, all my work has been extremely rewarding and I'm very satisfied with my life. So what do we say to that?
So that Masha, honestly what I would say is, he's a radical. He's a radical, Masha. The problem is, there are certain people who are wired in a certain way. That's how he is. Maybe he just can't do it. I mean, that's his purpose in life. And that's what makes him happy. But nowadays the problem is, everybody is being triggered into thinking you have to be in hustle culture.
Yeah.
Which everybody is not. Like you could be your alternative could have been, you could have been a musician, you could have been an artist, you could have been a therapist.
Right.
But no, hustle.
Because you have to have a fat
And the thing
patient.
is, you're gonna hustle, and you're gonna try, and then you're gonna burn out, and then you're gonna, when you don't achieve it, you're gonna be depressed and lonely.
Right. And that's for everybody in general, right?
Yeah,
So
in
not
general.
everybody can be a
Yeah, but in your
CEO.
context, when it comes to a super successful person, maybe he's not known anything else in life as well, apart
Exactly.
from hustling his way through.
Exactly.
Like maybe he never experienced love, maybe he never had a proper family, maybe he never grew up with friends. So the only thing he knew was how to, you know, increase numbers, and that was his, how can I say, like the way to measure success. Whereas other people, like let's say for me as example, yeah, I mean obviously to pay my bills, to live a comfortable life, I have to make a living, which I do. But apart from that, I also measure success from like the fun things I can do in life, the hobbies I can indulge in, the freedom, the time I have to go and meet my friends. Those things are what makes me feel very fulfilled and satisfied. That's how I measure success. So you could be in a different scale of things, you could be in a different scale of things.
So basically, your measure of success can change from person to person.
Right.
But the thing is, there's always that one outlier, which is a good thing. I think maybe that's like a proper hustler.
Yeah.
You should like actually talk to. I know a kid like Dashen. You remember Dashen, right?
Yeah.
He's in proper hustle culture, and he's doing pretty well. I give him a call here and there. We meet up, and he's doing really well.
Right.
But you know, he has grown up in a certain way, but it's working for him, and he's genuinely happy about it. So it's not bad. It's just that it's not for everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
You shouldn't try to be something that
Force
you're
it
not.
down somebody's throat.
Sometimes your hustle could be a completely
Different hustle.
free thing.
Yeah.
You could be, because there needs to be diversity Machang in people. Because when you have diversity only, you offer something to your community. That's how you change a society in a positive way.
Right.
Because if everyone is striving for the same thing, who's going to do the rest of the jobs?
Exactly. And like, you know, we are like forcing ourselves to do certain things just because everybody else is doing, right? Like let's say, for example, I like to do like handcrafted stuff and all that, right?
I've seen this.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. So I like to do that, right? But apart from that, I need like a job to sustain myself. Apart from that as well. And I have been working in like jobs for the past like 11 years. And I enjoy working too, because I enjoy work.
It's fun. Yeah.
But the thing is, I was never into numbers. I hate numbers. My specialization lies in like operations, handling teams and stuff.
Much.
So I enjoy doing that. But imagine if like somebody comes and tells me, okay, like we are all like finance people, you know, we make like, you know, huge salaries, we have so much perks, we drive Audis and Mercs because of the fact that, you know, we work in finance. And imagine somebody keeps telling that to me, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should go to finance too, because then I can be like them. Because you feel dissatisfied.
And finance is not for everybody.
It's not for everyone.
And it's a very high pressure job. I can't do like finances because I do not enjoy numbers. And it's very stressful. I don't want to take up that sort of intense responsibility.
Finance is for everybody. Accounting is not for everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's true. I mean,
we
like,
all need finance, otherwise we'll be broke.
Yeah, otherwise, we'll be like spending like irresponsibly and, you know.
Pretty much.
I can't just sit there and crunch numbers for hours.
That's not for everybody.
And see, that's the thing. So you will rather drop your passion and focus on something that you assume is going to make you a lot of money. And when you drop your actual passion, your passion could have actually maybe not as quick as him, but you will also eventually come to the point where he's coming.
Right.
But you drop it to pursue something else.
Yeah.
So then you drop all your effort to go do that, and then that doesn't work out for you. You forget this passion and you're done with that, and then you're in the middle ground where you're depressed.
Exactly, because you might, let's say I walked into finance because, they are super rich and, you know, they're super successful. And I'm feeling like I'm falling behind and I go into finance just to please society as a whole.
But is it just to please society as a whole, or are people just sometimes forced into trying to make more money? Because it could be that
you
they
have
have
to make
sick
ends
parents,
meet too, exactly.
children, spouse, like ailing parents. You know?
That's true. That's a very valid point. I mean, like, apart from the social pressure, we do go for that as well. I mean, at the end of the day, don't we earn money to either maintain ourselves, take care of our parents, and if we are married, to, you know, take care of our spouses and kids? Yes.
That point, what you prove is, Mashang, how the government has failed us. They are pressuring us so much. They have made our life a living hell that we have to go out of our way to do something that we don't like to survive, which is not what the government is supposed to do.
Is it the government, or is it us? Is it business? Is it market?
I think
the market?
It's a combination of everything, right? Because the market is very volatile now, and the economy is kind of collapsing.
I think the market is too big for the government to control, actually.
That could be it as well.
And it's very diverse now. It's got lots of stakeholders. Plus the thing is, like, even the economy is not exactly what you call stable anymore, right?
And I feel like instead of the government influencing the market is influencing the government.
Influencing the government.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, if you take it in a global perspective, the economy isn't doing that great. So companies are under a lot of pressure to make money as well. Right. And that pressure is transferred onto the employees, and the employees are dissatisfied.
Pretty much.
Right.
And so, I mean, coming back to mental health, all of this is actually pressuring us to a point where I think everybody nowadays is just melting down.
Melting down.
Pretty much.
Just to touch on the market point, Macha,
Mm.
I think the market is bigger than any government in existence.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
the market is integrated. You see, there's products being, produced in different stages, and they're being connected throughout the world, right?
Yeah.
The market as a whole, like especially with I don't remember the name that you call for it, like it's a new trend, like where one part of the product is made somewhere else,
Yeah.
and the other part of the product is made somewhere else. I've heard about this like vaguely,
Right.
but the whole thing is like really integrated,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's big. It's spread across the world. So taking the entire thing into consideration, and you consider a government, that's like peanuts.
It's like peanuts.
Yeah.
You know.
So because they are only overruling this one
Yeah.
part of this one country,
Yeah.
whereas
Whereas the
private
market
companies
is spread all around the
around
world.
the world, and they gain resources from everywhere.
Say I'm John Keels and you're BYD. I'm bringing down your car and you're supplying me batteries, and then we have a deal going on there. We're integrated
Yeah.
like that. So Sri Lanka and China, and then BYD is taking their chips from somebody else,
Right.
Maybe in Taiwan or
Right.
some other country, right? And it's connected like that. So the market as a whole is much bigger.
I mean, that's the thing about privatization. Privatization is always more effective, and it's more efficient than government.
Isn't it better to let the market take over? I don't know if it's better.
It would have it.
It has two sides.
yeah.
I think it has two sides too.
It'll have massive implications.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the economy will do better, but I think the
It
people
would not be
won't
good
do
for
better.
their mental health.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would be so much more pressured.
It will be like modern slavery if you think about
Yeah.
it. Because if they don't have, like, see, if there is no government to regulate, like, see, it's not like there is a lot of regulations being
Yeah.
implemented
No,
either.
that's just in our country.
Yeah, pretty
in
much.
our
In
country,
other countries,
there is
yeah, of
absolutely no
course.
regulation.
There's like, yeah, that's
Like
the thing.
if you take the United States, nobody's above the government, bro. They will not go above the government.
That's what they want you to believe, right? But if you really think about it, Machan, is the government really above the CIA? Is the government really is the president really above the CIA and the Mossad?
Yeah,
So you
Mossad is
understand-
undefeated.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know why JFK got murdered, right? He got assassinated.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he was trying to prevent Israel from getting nukes.
And we
Right.
got
I mean,
shot.
yeah, it's a business, yeah.
Yeah. So the military-industrial complex might actually be bigger than the US government too.
Yeah, of
Could
course,
be.
the weapons industry and the pharmaceutical industries, they are
Oh, the
untouchable.
pharmaceutical industry is
Exactly,
so
they
messed
are
up, man.
untouchable. Exactly.
It is so messed up.
They are the ones, those two industries primarily are the ones that run the world, technically speaking.
Who's to even know that maybe they also have stakes in those companies as well?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
governments.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, because that's where the money lies, anyways.
Because at the end of the day, governments are run by
Yeah.
humans, and we know what humans are capable of.
Have you noticed, Machan, the FBI directors, Cash Patel and all those guys, they come out in the open, no? FBI?
Yeah.
But have you ever seen a CIA agent in the open?
Never.
Never.
Have you ever seen a Mossad? I've seen retired Mossad officers, they speak about stuff and they've written books as well. But you've never seen an active Mossad agent in the open?
No,
Never.
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 Why is that?
So basically, Mossad, the problem is, okay, they were Mossad was started to like track down Nazi, like you know, the terror,
yeah.
like basically people who killed like scores of Jews, right?
Right.
So they were always like acting as spies rather than like you know active operatives.
Yeah. So they couldn't expose
Yeah,
their.
exactly.
And they got, so they went to mainly US and Canada and got citizenship there, Machan.
Right.
Because those countries, they don't have a specific like ethnicity. They're diverse countries, so you could say that I'm from Canada, I'm from America, and they had American and Canadian passports for the most part,
Right.
and they went to these different parts in the world, right? And even in America and even in Canada, they roast among ranks, and I think there is a deep state, and that is predominantly, it could be, I'm not sure,
Not
but
sure.
could be the Mossad, right?
Yeah, of course, because see, there is this thing like, and it's a very true thing. Jews are naturally very intelligent.
There is, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's evidence to
definitely.
do
Yeah,
it.
it's a universal fact
Yeah.
because they are good in every industry they are involved in.
Yeah, Albert Einstein, Oppenheimer.
Exactly, pretty
Crazy.
much everybody. They are all Jewish, right? So I had a friend who was Jewish. She was extremely intelligent. Top of every class, you can never beat her, right? They are naturally gifted and they are very intelligent. So everywhere you see, we can't like really see a Jew and think they're a Jew, right? Like, oh, you're a Jew. They are like pretty much like undercover, right?
Right.
If you look at all the industries around the world, it's always a Jew that's heading the whole thing.
Even I've worked for a Jewish person, and like what they say about them is to a certain extent true.
Yeah.
I was on an internship and I was working very hard, trying to prove myself, but the guy never hired me. Maybe it was my bad, but I don't know.
For reals?
Yeah.
They have a very, how can I say it, a very different way of doing
Yeah.
things that we do.
As long as I was I was okay with staying as it was a part-time gig. So as long as I was okay with the internship position, he was fine. And he was using me to hire other people and other stuff as well. And he tried to get the most out of you, but with minimum.
They work
are
smart,
people
not
of
hard.
money, man.
They're very
They will
ruthless.
try not to spend.
They will
Just
do
spend
their
as
best
less
not
as
to
possible.
They're very
It's not a bad
ruthless.
thing.
It's not a bad thing.
They are
It's just how they're wired.
Yeah.
Ruthless, not in a bad sense. They're ruthless when it comes to doing their business.
And we were in the publication industry as well. We were like editing books and editing manuscripts and stuff. But he would openly use ChatGPT, and most of the other interns, including myself at a certain point, was annoyed by this because it's actually not good for the integrity.
Yeah.
Right? But he only saw it as a practical and and an eventual thing that you have to adapt to.
So yeah,
That's something
I told you this last
Yeah.
week as well. We see ChatGPT and all. Oh, I'm not going to use that. That's pretty shit. That's going to rot my brain. But the thing is, we have to adapt with it, Mata.
Yes.
Because if we are going to be replaced,
Yeah.
either we learn their system or be replaced.
Yeah.
And this is how if we don't adapt right now, for instance, look at our parents. They are really bad in technology. They don't know how to do anything. That's kind of what's happened to us when AI takes over. And if we don't adapt with it and learn about it, we will be in the exact same situation.
That's true. We
So
have
we
to
also
adapt.
need to adapt with it and learn their skills.
Yeah, exactly. We have to learn those skills. Whether we like it or not, it's our personal matter, right?
Yeah,
But-
of course. Even me personally, I learn a lot about AI
Yeah.
because of my work. My work, I require AI to make sure my work is perfect. But at the same time, it kind of scares me to a certain extent because AI is essentially very powerful now. It can think for itself.
Yeah.
And that danger of being replaced by an AI software is always there. And as much as I'm into technology because of my work, I'm also a person who still likes to go a bit old school, right? Write my own notes like you,
Right.
and draw things, make things from my own hands, do a bit of gardening. And I'm in a bit of a conflict at all times, right? Do I use
I
technology?
think we all are in a conflict right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But eventually we know what wins.
Yeah, that's the thing. But
Yeah.
I don't want to cross over to the it's basically it's a very complex situation. I don't want to go completely technological. I don't think we can go completely
Yeah.
technological. But yeah, you never know. It's
You never know because Elon Musk is starting the implants.
Yeah, no?
oh no, that's
And
crazy.
what's the chip, Masa? What's it called? The
Some
Neuralink.
Neuralink?
Neuralink.
That's crazy, how
That's
the monkey plays the game?
But isn't that really
you seen that video?
dystopian though?
I have not seen it, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, everybody should watch that much on that video on YouTube.
Oh, that's
There's a
very
monkey-
dystopian.
What I don't understand is why does he want to do this?
That's okay. So these
There
people
has
are
to be an agenda,
super,
right?
Yeah, obviously
Yeah.
there's always an agenda. See, the thing is, he can control every human on the planet if they all get the chip, right? What kind of guarantee do we have that it's going to be good
Yeah.
for us? What do we know about its capabilities?
I would be open to getting a synthetic arm.
Yeah, I
or
wouldn't
a
mind
leg.
that. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, those
If I
stuff
lost
are
my shit.
cool. Yeah,
But not
those
my-
stuff
Yeah,
are
in
fine.
terms of
But
like-
Don't
something
screw with
in
my
your
brain.
That will benefit.
Yeah.
But don't you think why he's trying to expand Starlink so much is that eventually his idea is to get the entire network coverage and then embed us with Neuralink
Yeah, so that
and
they
then
can
control us
connect.
through Starlink.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
of course, it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because
makes
it's like,
sense.
look at the iPhone, right? If something's wrong with it, we just give a call to them.
Yeah.
And they can fix it from wherever they are. They can make our apps go obsolete whenever
And
possible. They
who's to
control
say
it.
that we are not controlled right now?
Exactly.
Right.
They are
We are.
controlling us
We
with
are
the
controlling-
targeted
This is-
ads, with the
Yeah, it
curated
controls us.
content.
This is not
Exactly.
an iPhone, Masha.
Yeah.
This is a $1 trillion weapon that's aimed at your brain. Destroy it from the inside out.
Right.
And it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are draining ourselves being on the phone all day, right? I consciously do this now because I used to be on my phone all the time because of
Yeah.
work. But now what I do is when I'm basically not working, I keep my phone aside, and I just need my to do my work. I need my laptop. I don't need my phone unless I have to check on updates if I'm out and about. So I keep my phone aside, completely aside. I just focus on my work and stuff. If I have to do research, I will go on like certain platforms and do it. But apart from that, either to talk to my friends or to research on something that I'm truly passionate about, apart from that, I don't do that doom scrolling anymore. And it has worked wonders on my mental health.
Okay.
I agree with her because I think I told this to you guys like a couple of minutes or half an hour back. We don't understand what obviously social media is bad for us, but we don't exactly understand the science behind it and what it does to your brain.
Right.
So obviously we all have emotions, right? We cry, we laugh, we smile.
Obviously.
But those things happen at different times. We don't feel every single emotion at once. So the reason why TikTok is horrible for you is, I'm telling you, if anybody has TikTok, delete it. Delete it for a week and just try. I don't have TikTok on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, I
I've
never
deleted
did.
it since like last week. I deleted it after I saw this
For a week.
for a week, and I still don't have it on my phone.
Okay.
And I have to say, Instagram and Facebook is not that bad.
Yeah.
So after I deleted TikTok, everything just became so clear. Because you know why? Because for instance, now you see everything that you see on your feed is curated to attack your brain, to kick up your dopamine. And dopamine is felt through every single emotion.
Right.
Even when you get angry, even when you smile, there's a sense of dopamine that rises. So when you constantly keep on scrolling through that, your brain is losing control, basically. It's feeling multiple emotions at once. So how do you process all that?
And you're exhausted.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys just try it out, okay? Just try it. Just go through TikTok for like half an hour and just see how tired you will feel. You will feel sleepy. You're like, I want to take a nap. And it actually is the case.
And think about vaping on top of that.
Oh my
Typical
gosh.
Yeah, exactly. You're vaping and you're just on your bed or just seated and you're scrolling on your phone. Have you ever seen people? Okay, so when I was very young, I used to go out all the time and go out and play badminton with my friends.
Right.
I would go on trips. And I would just run around in the neighborhood with my dog, and we would go out and play as kids, right?
Kids.
But nowadays, yeah, one thing is because even their life has become so demanding. It's school, homework, tuition, it carries on, right?
Yeah.
I've seen there's a tuition class near my house.
Right.
They finish the classes at 10 p.m. on weekdays.
And what grade is this?
This is like grade 10, 11, 8. It could possibly be younger people also, but judging by their look, I think they're like grade 8. So I think leading up to their O
Imagine
level,
being grade
exactly.
Grade 8 and being that pressure?
Yeah.
Honestly, because one day I went to get some groceries. This was around like 10 something, like close to 10. There's a massive traffic jam in front of this tuition class. I was like, seriously, traffic at 10 p.m. grade. Then I realized the class is just finished and they're coming out. I'm like, this is inhuman. Like I was a kid who was allergic to tuition classes, right?
Right, same.
Yeah,
I think we all were, eh?
Exactly.
All
I
of us
hated
were.
it.
Who?
Yeah, like you
Who liked it?
can't.
Nobody liked it.
Exactly.
You know, what I
Go
don't
to school for
understand
6
is...
hours and then go to another class.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't understand. Why do we have to go to school and then go to a tuition class to learn about it even more?
Same thing again.
Exactly. That's messed up because
Doesn't that show
means
something wrong in the education system?
It is wrong because see the thing is the teachers are not teaching properly. We are not absorbing what they are teaching. That's basically because most teachers, like I've met some amazing teachers during my time in school, but a majority of them they're just doing it for the sake of doing it, right?
That is true. That's true to a certain extent, but also there's always some other. It's not just one factor that's driving something.
Yeah, there's a lot of things obviously. I'm just talking about like one particular factor.
That could be one major factor.
Yeah.
But also another major factor would be the competitiveness that parents especially.
Yes, that
Are
toxic
pressuring their kids.
mentality. If you don't become the first in class, you are done for. If you get less marks than you did in the previous term, you're going to be a failure. Even like I've seen most of my friends' parents back in the day, they become like, my child is going to be the first in class. If I have told her not to come home if she's not the first, what kind of like upbringing is that? You're
And
teaching
imagine
your child.
that child growing up with that attitude and coming into society after that.
Right. And that's how you create those hyper-driven individuals.
Exactly, but they crash because I knew, like I had one of my cousins, he was extremely gifted, extremely talented, all-rounder, general proficiency, first in every class. I think he had an island rank also from O-levels and A-levels. Brilliant. But the thing is, he was never taught to handle rejection or failure. So he's in his extremes, right? So when he was like basically, he went to uni, then he suddenly realized that there are
Other
smarter students than him.
Yeah, yeah.
That
And he couldn't handle it.
he could not handle it. He actually had to seek professional help because he had a meltdown because another kid got a better grade for an assignment
Right.
at uni. That was the turning point for his downfall. Like, I'm very sad to say now he's just doing a very regular job at an office, and all that brilliance is gone because he was so bitter. He could not handle the fact that there was somebody out there that was better than him, and it all came down to his parents because his parents built up his ego so much.
And I think that's what, I think it's very important for us in our 20s and our late teens, especially, Majan, to go out there and try new things and to fail and
Definitely.
be okay with that.
And be okay with it.
Yeah.
Nobody's a failure.
You know, in my life, most of my 20s have been like a complete and utter failure. But
I think we all have. But we're still going.
I'm
Yeah,
still going,
exactly.
right? I'm still at
No,
least
those
going.
are lessons. Like nobody anywhere has told, except for a few weirdos on Instagram, that your life has to be perfect.
Right.
Like, it's something that, like, it's an unspoken thing in life. Have you ever had a perfect day at office? Isn't there like even a minor hiccup at work?
No, there's never
No,
a perfect day.
there's
Exactly.
never going to be
Nobody
Yes,
has a
when we
perfect
are
day.
being trained, we are like, okay, you have to do this on point, you have to be perfect, you have to be, 100% accurate. Yes, everybody says that. But have you ever had a day that was perfect? Yes, sometimes you would have an
Some days.
extremely good day.
Yeah.
But don't
But
you even
there
make
are
a typo
obviously,
somewhere?
there is obviously
Like a
hit
minor
misses and
flaw.
definitely something
Exactly.
happens even during a perfect day.
Yeah.
It's natural to
Yeah.
be imperfect.
So what happens is, like, we don't see people failing, right? Okay, let's say you had a review, you had your annual review or something at work. Imagine if you got negative marks or you failed your annual review.
Right.
You're not going to put that on Instagram like, hey guys, I just failed from annual review, right? But if you get an award for the best employee of the year,
You put it everywhere.
that's going to be everywhere.
That would be a weird
That would
flex.
be like-
Exactly.
Yeah,
Now
like,
I look at
employee of the year. I've never seen one person put, I'm the employee of the year.
Yeah, there are people who do
There
that,
are
right?
some people.
Yeah, there are
Actually,
some
there
people.
are people, man.
Yeah. So they
Who are
would
like-
love to toot their horn and be like, oh, okay, I'm the, I'm the best employee of the year.
Employee of the year.
And he would put a summary of his entire year, or his or her year.
But also sometimes thinking about it, I think sometimes competitiveness being competitive is like a natural, how do I say it? Like, it has been passed down in our genes through
Yeah.
generations because we had to hunt, right? And only the
Yeah, of
strongest,
course.
the
Survives.
fastest, the smartest guy would be able to bring home the guy or girl or whatever, would be able to, most likely guy, right? But
Yeah,
would be able
exactly.
to bring home the catch.
We
So-
catch.
And
Sorry.
there's huge competition among men and
Yeah.
women as well to get that man. That was how it was back
It
Yeah,
was back in the
exactly.
day.
yeah. So I think that has been passed down over like tens and
Thousands of years.
thousands of years and tens of generations, and I think it's still among us, and we try to we try to do that in this context as well. When we go to an office, we try to be the best employee.
Yep.
When we sit for an exam, we try to get the best results. When we start a business, we try to make it number one. When we start doing politics or activism or something like that, we try to get the most power,
Exactly.
right?
It trickles down to
Yeah.
literally everything.
Like
I think it's-
survival, yeah.
But I feel like in the modern context, it
It
doesn't
is our survival
work.
instinct.
It doesn't work
It
exactly.
doesn't work a lot.
See, that's the thing. Like back in the day, yeah, you have to catch something to eat.
To survive,
or else
to
you
live.
starve,
Yeah.
right? But nowadays,
You
we
don't
are
have
not
to
in
work
that
as
dire
hard to be
situation.
successful anymore.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But
And
we
you
still
can
carry that.
codependent.
Yeah, we still carry that. That's in our
Exactly.
genome.
But
Man,
I
you can't
think
help that.
exactly.
But
But
I
I
feel like
think
if you're-
we can curb it to a certain
Yeah,
extent.
you can curb it. You can
That's why we are humans. We can consciously curb that.
exactly. That's
I
why
think
we're
we are
different from
able to
any
do
other
that.
living being on
Yeah.
this planet.
And unfortunately, we are not curbing it
Exactly.
anymore.
I
That's
think we
the
are
problem.
becoming worse than animals.
No.
Yeah, we are worse than animals if you think about it. We
Pretty
are
much.
destroying everything that we touch in this planet.
But do you think we are the only people who understands this?
There are people who understands this. Okay, let's say for example, let's say if I was a person who had like 3 kids to feed, my husband was probably unemployed. I'm working
We have no
in
other
like
choice.
a factory or something, right? And I understand this particular factory is completely unethical, disregards all environmental standards, and treats their employees horribly. And I'm a person who's eco-conscious. but my ego consciousness is basically drowning out because of my struggle for survival.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Right?
Yeah.
So people are aware of this. It's just
Yeah.
that most people are powerless to like do anything about it.
Your circumstance actually triggers your consciousness
Exactly, yeah.
sometimes. Aja.
See, you can't live a good
I mean,
life if
not
you're
that it
struggling.
triggers, it trumps it.
It does, yeah.
Exactly.
It takes over what's...
You know how
Really
we
out
all
there. Yeah.
want to like live a very simple life, right? Like I would love to have like a little house in a rural area
Yeah.
with a garden full of vegetables and flowers and whatnot, with like beautiful surroundings. But yeah, I will be able to achieve that, but it's not as simple as it looks, right?
Yeah, it's really
Because
tough.
at the end of the day, there's climate change, environmental pollution, economic challenges, and let's say I won't be probably, if I'm going to live a carefree life, I won't be able to get married or have kids because I
Right.
need to like, you know, feed my kids,
Yeah.
I need to run a household, take care of
Yeah.
my family.
Agree.
So it's always the circumstances, and like back in the day, a few generations back, we would have been able to do that. But nowadays, because of the way the world is going, you know, the circumstances are getting pretty tragic by the day.
We are becoming more pressured than ever right
Yeah.
now. And it sucks.
Yeah, the pressure to survive, to succeed. We have to be hustlers at one point. We have to struggle. It's like Squid Game.
And it's like you can never be yourself.
Yeah.
You always have to push yourself down.
Right.
You can never truly
You have to
reach
be
your potential.
confident, but you have to be anxious also.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Because if you're overconfident, you're going to be like very disappointed. in
Especially in Sri Lanka, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
It's
don't
a
like,
massive
we
thing.
have the tall puppy syndrome. Have you heard of that? If somebody's trying to, so if we are all on
Yeah,
the same
I think I know
level,
what you-
if somebody's trying too much and go up, we try to pull from their leg.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is really sad because when somebody is going up, Masa, you need like as a modern person, you need to understand when somebody goes up, they contribute something to society, Masa, which will evidently improve the quality of life. And
Overall, yeah.
This is the main reason why all the kids are migrating to other countries, Masa.
Yeah.
Because no matter how much you study and how smart you are, nobody will let anything take off.
Yeah.
If you start a business, there's so many hurdles that you have to go through. There's so many
Exactly.
people you have to pay off. Nobody
And the
wants-
negative comments, and it's very hurtful. Like I've noticed, like let's say when I was working in media,
Yeah.
most people don't really understand the field, right? What we do, and like how it functions. So for them, it would look like a very low key job. Like
Yeah.
you
There's
talk
nothing
for a
much
living.
going on. You just talk
Yeah,
all
just
day.
talk. What responsibility do you have? So they naturally look down upon us as opposed to a person who's working in a bank or something.
Right.
But whereas we make more than those guys do, but we are
Exactly.
having a good time also.
Which I think is really stupid. Ne? Like,
Yeah.
has anybody ever worked in a bank? It sucks.
I would assume so. I've never worked in a
It's
bank.
Yeah,
horrible.
and even I haven't worked in a bank, but like from friends,
Trust me, you
I've
have
heard.
you have no soul working in a bank. If you enjoy it, you have no soul. I'm not gonna try to call anybody
I
out,
know
but
for a
like,
fact that I don't want to sit down and just crunch numbers all day.
That's the thing. That's not what we're made of. See,
Yeah.
I'm more of a very artistic person,
Yeah.
right? I express myself through art, drawings, and stuff.
But
How
the
can I
sad-
be stuck in that?
but the sad reality is, we are tagged as unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Because we have different outlooks. Like we are radicals. We are trying to break out of it and we are trying to do our own thing.
Right.
And that's why we are right here right now.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
we all have our professions, but we abandoned it to do this because this is what we truly want to do.
Right.
But whereas society thinks, oh shit, these guys suck. And that's the sad reality of it.
I think the fact is that like most people put their personal things way too much out there, right?
Yeah.
You can do anything, like you can do the most perfect thing in the world, but there's going to be somebody who's going to say something
Yeah,
wrong against you.
definitely.
Let's say you build the most beautiful house ever. And one person can come and be like, look at it, look at the floor and be like, you put tiles, you could have put granite.
yeah.
Simple as that.
You can never satisfy people, bro.
Not
Yeah.
everybody.
Not everybody.
Yeah,
No,
not everybody, yeah.
Not everybody, but honestly, if you think about it, you can never actually satisfy anyone. The only person you should ever focus on satisfying is yourself.
Right.
Because it
But
won't
isn't
matter.
that then drifting away from monoculture?
Well, technically speaking,
is.
Yeah, but
But like monoculture is a culture where you come together to express a feeling. That bond will be there. But in actuality, like for you to grow as a person, you have to think about yourself, Mata.
Right.
But I think monoculture helps you respect other people also.
Yeah.
Because you are bonded by something common, right?
Right.
So gradually, subconsciously, you tend to respect the other person's perspectives, other things also, like let's say their hobbies, to the sports that they play, or even their political views. Maybe you're not in agreement with them, but you tolerate them, right?
You have to bear.
So exactly, you bear up with it, or you tolerate. You also become pretty open-minded. You start thinking from other perspectives as well, right? Whereas now everybody's like blocked in.
So it's not like you'll ever see a rich person and a poor person be friends these days. Whereas back in the day, because of monoculture, we didn't think about like being rich and poor. Did we ever think about it when we were young?
We never thought about it.
We never thought about it.
Nobody
We didn't
cared.
care. See, that's because monoculture triumphed everything. We were all connected by that common interest. Because of that, we didn't really care about anything else. But nowadays, it's like, no, like what she said, okay, how does he make me look? What can I gain from this person?
Yeah.
Right.
It's very transactional, and it's draining people's soul. Like let's say if I'm a businessman, I'd be thinking, wow, I'm making moves, right? But in reality, I'm making myself more miserable by the day. I'm becoming mechanical. Like let's say you're in a job that you don't enjoy, right? You validate yourself thinking, oh, when you see that paycheck, you're like, oh, who cares? I get paid, money, right? But after some time, you realize that you become like a machine of sorts. You're not enjoying that experience, and then you hit burnout, you crash, and then you realize nothing was worth it in the first place. Yes, you must make a living, but at the end of the day, like if you don't have healthy boundaries with something that you truly don't enjoy, but you have to do it out of circumstance, then you head to burnout.
And also, like you said, like it creates monoculture. You actually create another monoculture as well. Like you say, when you try to stop impressing others, you actually create a subculture there as well. Where then people also are like,
people will.
Hey, you know what? He is right. I should do for myself.
And
then that creates another monoculture. See, individuality is something that like Facebook, Instagram, all these companies are trying to stop. They don't want you to be an individual person. They just want you to be stuck on this screen, just scrolling endlessly without having anything that's yours. So that's what's deteriorating our society like crazy right now.
It's like divide and conquer.
Yeah.
When you are isolated, it's easy for people to get to you, right?
Exactly.
But if you're with friends, if you have a support system, if you have a good family, then people can't mess with you, right? It happens like, let's say in school, right? If you pull a fight with somebody, but if you're like alone at school, you're likely to get attacked. But if you have a huge squad, no one's going to mess with you,
No one's going to mess with you.
Exactly. So when you're together, you cannot be influenced that easily. But when you're separated, you can easily be influenced.
And I would say
animals live in groups as well, right?
Exactly. I would say, this culture nowadays, it's like, be independent, be alone, hustle. Humans were never designed to be independent. We are codependent. We need someone. Did you know that loneliness actually reduces your lifespan?
Lifespan, yes.
Really?
There's something called
crazy.
broken heart syndrome. You've heard about it, right?
You don't know it subconsciously, but you're actually, when you're alone, you're actually dying on the inside.
Yeah.
You're actually dying on the inside.
It reduces your lifespan, your heart weakens. It's a real thing.
It's a real thing. So I would say never pursue anybody. They should not pursue being independent. I mean, being independent is okay, but being alone, isolating yourself, saying I don't need this person, I don't need that person, no, that's bullshit. We need human interaction.
Right. I understand what you're saying, but imagine a person, right, who is like they try, but they are unable to make a connection, a decent human connection. Is religion? So basically, what we are doing is take it monoculture or any other like collective idea. We are surrendering to that idea, right? So in being like when you are trying to surrender, there's something that a part of us that we have to compromise, right? And is religion does religion come in there? Like, can religion make us surrender?
It plays a monster role. It plays a massive role because
was that what it's intended to do?
Pardon?
Religion was intended for that, right?
Intended, because now I'm sorry to say this, but like religion is something that's it's sadly become taboo. Religion has become like taboo. And honestly, if you look at the life of Jesus, his basic motto was love and forgiveness. You have to look at those. Now, for instance, now like you said, you try to make an effort, but you could never get through to anyone. maybe that person did not understand what they were preached properly. Because sometimes, like, for instance, take you and me. Bro, you and me are completely different.
Right.
I remember I think you were describing yourself from back in the day.
Right, yeah.
Have you ever seen me try to abandon you?
No.
This bugger, whenever I call him, sometimes he goes super dark.
Right.
He doesn't text or anything. Because I've always had Christ in my heart. I know, even now, I still call my friends because I know if I make an effort, that they will also make an effort.
Right.
And I've always called you and I've always got you back. Because through His Word, I found peace and I've let go of my ego and pride and I called you. Usually, what religion is meant to do is let go of your ego and pride. Ego and pride is what destroys all. And if you check the Bible, a lot of men fell because of ego and pride. And because I let go of my ego and pride, we are still here today having this conversation.
Exactly. And do we necessarily have to surrender to a God?
Well, it's like this, like as humans we need to have faith, right? So I'm a Buddhist and I said, I worship Hindu gods and goddesses as well. I have extreme faith in them and it has turned my life for the better.
Right.
Now imagine if I was a non-believer, I could only believe in things like just going to work, crunching numbers, or just waiting for that annual review or something, right? Your life loses meaning. It doesn't have any color. But when you believe in a higher power, when you believe that there's a divine power looking for you out there, and you surrender yourself to it, good things happen to you because you let go of your ego without knowing. Sometimes you might not realize that you're surrendering your ego, right? But when you realize there's somebody higher above you, a divine power, it subconsciously removes your ego.
It kind of creates a fear in you that you want to be a better person because somebody is looking at you.
Right. Yeah.
And also it's a lot of love too, because you feel like there's somebody out there protecting you, right?
Is it fear or is it love?
It's
Well,
love.
it could, it's always love, but some people might feel fear as well. I've seen people who feel fear. Yeah, there are people, I think it's how you perceive it. For me, I feel a lot of love. Because, when I was going through, I went through a very dark time in my life because of certain, reasons, like maybe it was like heartbreak and stuff, right? So then what happened was I kind of lost faith. I was like, I have so much faith that I have to go through this, right? But that episode made me have more faith after some time. I fell out of faith and that led me to a better path.
Yeah. And also, why do we take fear and label it as a bad thing? Is fear really a bad thing? Fear is what helps us survive.
Right.
So you can look at it from that perspective as well.
Yeah.
So if I fear God, it doesn't mean that I'm afraid of Him, but I'm afraid to disappoint Him.
Yeah. I've seen this quote from Mike Tyson. He says, it's actually Cus D'Amato, he's Mike Tyson's trainer. What he says is, fear is like fire. You either use it to burn things
Exactly.
or you use it to burn
Exactly.
things.
Like I said, why should you label fear as a bad thing?
Yeah.
Fear can be used for positivity as well. It's because people don't fear anything nowadays, it's why society is like this now. You don't fear anyone, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
And they know that there is no consequence. Whoever talks about hell or heaven nowadays.
So they think that there's no consequence.
Yeah, but there is.
Yeah.
There's always a
Definitely.
consequence. Karma is very real. Despite the religion that we observe, you're a Christian, I'm a Buddhist, you're a Buddhist, whatever faith that we believe
I would
in.
like to identify myself as an omnist.
Well, in that case,
And I actually particularly find Hinduism very intriguing.
it is very intriguing. And see,
Honestly,
the thing
man.
is, most of the time, we used to laugh off, I experienced this a lot when I was in school, because I was very much interested in Hinduism, mythology, because my parents, they worship Hindu gods as well.
Right.
It's a generational thing,
Yeah.
and we are
Yeah.
Buddhists. So what happens is, when I was small, I saw all these things, and I had a lot of faith, and I always did. But when you go to school, when you go to certain friends groups and stuff, you see people mocking such things, right? And then subconsciously, I've realized most people, they tend to question these things.
Yeah.
They're like, are miracles real? Oh, are there gods out there? I know that's bullshit. People say that, but it's wrong, because the thing is, maybe there are no, see, we can't see gods in plain sight.
Yeah.
But that doesn't essentially mean that they are not there, right? And when I have a lot of faith, a lot of good things have happened to me.
Yeah.
So that I cannot deny. That's why I go to temples, I go to the Kovil, and they have benefited me immensely.
And what's a miracle? No?
Yeah.
It is
See,
open to interpretation, right?
like,
The miracle
exactly.
is open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Open to anything.
The fact that you get a job probably is a
ways.
miracle. The fact that you find a friend at a most unexpected time can be a miracle. People who have common interests with you is a miracle.
I'm actually going to come back to that, sorry. I'm actually going to come back to that. So I've been working for the past 5 years in my company and I've never really resonated or connected with anyone. But I met this one guy in my last, probably I would say 1 year that I stayed. And we are still really close friends. And then we still asked each other like, bro, how is it that we've been here for so long and like I've never connected with anybody else but you.
Right.
And the thing is, he's bringing out the best in me and I'm bringing out the best in him. So that is a miracle, Masha. That basically, I mean, just imagine the chances of me missing him.
Right.
Just imagine like we all know each other. By a small factor, that it can't be a coincidence, Masha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be a reason why we all meet.
Yeah.
We could have we wouldn't. Who would have thought like in 10 years we'd be having this conversation right now?
Right.
Exactly.
And we were pretty much estranged, like until you reached out to me, right? Like
Yeah, exactly.
And nothing is a coincidence.
Yeah.
I've noticed that nothing.
Yeah,
is.
like
I mean-
it was so random. Like I
Yeah.
don't know why I reached out to you, but something influenced me to reach out to you.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, Nadun,
Yeah. What's up?
what's up? We've been wanting this thing.
Yeah.
Let's do this thing.
We've
Let's
been
not
talking
waste
about
any
this
time.
since 2016.
Yes, and the thing is like for it to come up right now, and I think
Almost 10 years later.
10 years, and within those 10 years we went through so much of shit
Right.
and so much of heartache and good experiences and bad experiences that we can be allowed to sit around and talk like this about it and get our feelings out.
Maybe it wasn't the time for you to do it.
Yeah.
So you know how like sometimes, okay, let's say I wanted to start a business like let's say 2 years back, but I actually could start it this year. And back then I would have thought, oh God, life is so unfair. I can't start anything. I can't do anything right. But when you look back and see, you realize that you were not prepared at
for
that
it.
time. And the experiences, whatever resources you've collected for the past 2 years, is what will help you make it a success this year.
Exactly.
So I know, like, I read this article as well. It was about divine timing, right? So we as humans, yes, our lifespan is very short, right?
Yeah.
Our lifespan is extremely short compared to certain other dimensions, as they say, right? So for us, we want our business to be successful in the next 6 months.
Right.
We want us to find our life partner within the next 2 years.
Exactly.
We want to get married in 3 years. We want to have a child by the next year. You know, it goes on like that, right? We make our own plan, but whereas there is a plan that's already meant for us. I know most people say that, you know, you write your own destiny. Yes, you do. With your conscious actions, you can rewire your destiny. You can rewrite your destiny,
Right.
right?
Definitely.
That's true. You can change your karmic path. But that also being said, you can't, like, you are not completely, you know, out of the whole, you know, this divine timing that is meant for us. Like, let's say you didn't get that job you wanted because there was something better in store for you.
Exactly.
Or maybe that job place was going to be toxic for you and
Yeah.
that would have hindered your growth forever.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
There's always a reasoning.
Exactly. So the reason why I left my job right now is for this to happen. This is what was supposed to happen.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things like that. And like for the past 11 years, I was working in a particular place. But like as much as I enjoyed, there were also elements that was making me feel very dissatisfied.
Yeah.
And now I found a job that appreciates me for who I am. I'm very supported.
Exactly.
And I love the positive experience that it's like a miracle for me. Because the first couple of weeks I was thinking to myself, I was like, why are these people so nice? And then I realized, okay, this is a good experience. Like
Right.
I finally settled into the fact that they are genuinely nice only after a week or so. So that is a miracle for me because I've seen a lot of negative things in my life.
So to come down to it, religion is extremely important.
Right.
Yep.
Especially nowadays, it's crucial that we turn to religion. It doesn't matter what religion you're in.
Yeah.
Just turn to it because I feel like people don't understand the importance of it, like how it can change your life. Like, it changed my life for the better. I mean, you can physically see my change.
Yeah.
You remember how I used to be, right?
Yeah, you look in better shape.
Exactly, I'm in better
Well
shape.
groomed.
Exactly, well groomed. And that's all because, I don't know, for me, I don't know, obviously we're not judging anyone's religion. I have a feeling that God is pushing me towards the right way. He's definitely, and who's to say, like you said before, who's to say, we go, she's Hindu and you're
She's
whatever.
Buddhist.
I'm
you're
Buddhist,
but,
but I
but you
also,
go for
yes.
Hindu as well.
Right.
Who's to say we are reporting to the same person?
Right.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, we could be reporting to the same person.
Same
You could
person.
just be like showing up wearing different clothes.
Exactly. It's just that maybe they came to that person in that form to create a different culture, you know, because like if we all prayed to the same God,
Right.
there would not be diversity. The world would not be a different place. Different things would not come out. So it's good to have. It's good. Maybe he came in different forms to different people. But at the end of the day, we need to understand that balance is what we need to get from religion. I feel like a lot of religions we are so divided, not because of the actual religion itself,
But because of how it's perceived.
Exactly my point. Especially kids nowadays. You guys need to turn to religion, especially because I don't know, like they say, you know, Lucifer was, you know, what Lucifer's role was in heaven, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? You know what his role was, right?
He was basically God's favorite son, right?
He was God's favorite son, and what was his best trait?
Was it torture?
Torture.
In heaven, when he was in heaven.
Right. There's some people who get tortured in heaven too.
Yeah, fair enough. But his main objective was music.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why they say Hollywood is run by the devil.
Right.
It's literally run by the devil because you can see every single artist that started out and look at like Sam Smith and all those people. Look at how vulgar they are. Look at how vulgar the music industry is right now.
Yeah, they're gone like batshit crazy.
The
Yeah.
drugs.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Because eventually, when you sell your soul to the devil, you have to pay it back.
Right.
And they are slowly paying it back now.
Yeah.
So I feel like we need, especially as a society, we need to, irrespective of what religion you have,
You need to
turn
have
to
religion.
it.
Yeah.
Learn it. Trust me, I wish people learn Buddhism in this country. If people did learn Buddhism, this country would not be like this, bro.
Yeah.
And you're from a Buddhist family as well?
I'm
your
from
mother,
I'm a
father?
Buddhist.
Yeah.
I've been Buddhist my entire life.
Right.
But I feel like the message, my brother is a hardcore Buddhist.
Yeah, I know.
And he's a super hardcore.
Yeah.
He says he loves Jesus Christ. Because Jesus Christ preached love. Even in the time of his death, when he was being nailed down, he said, forgive them.
Right.
They know not what they do. That was, being a real man, that is the realest man you can ever meet.
Right.
That is the most macho man. Forgiveness and love.
And same thing could be said about Lord Buddha,
Exactly.
Krishna.
Lord Krishna,
Everyone.
everybody. Because yes, most of the Hindu gods, they went to war, but they went to war for a righteous reason. Because they were battling evil.
Exactly.
It's a battle between good and evil. So
And
you
the-
need to eliminate evil in different ways.
Exactly. And just as God comes in many forms, so does the devil.
Right.
He comes in many forms.
So I was talking to you guys about the Kali Yuga, right?
Yeah.
So now we're in this
Yeah.
period called the Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
So this Kali means a demon.
Mhm.
So the demon has siblings. The siblings are greed, lust, dishonesty, laziness, gluttony, right?
Yeah.
So these are
It's
all
like the
very
five-
symbolical.
5 deadly sins.
Yeah, five-
Five deadly sins, right? So this is the Hindu version of it,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So during the time of Kali Yuga, this demon and his siblings, they gain a lot of power, which is why society is degrading as a whole. So these could be like, these are all very like symbolic things, right? So the more their power grows, the more degraded the humans
Yeah.
become. And that's pretty obvious, right? Because nowadays people are like, they are lying a lot. They have no integrity. They have no character. They are greedy. They are earning more than what they need. So nowadays the society is heading into like, eventually it's going to collapse.
Yeah.
And then only like a new divine power will emerge, right?
And if you check every single religion, like I said before, in order for those gods to come back into reality, people need to lose faith to the
Right.
maximum.
Right.
And that's where we're going. I mean, how many people do you know that believe in faith anymore?
But at the same time, there is a different thing as well. there are a certain number of people, quite a substantial number to be honest, who have regained their faith.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like for instance, me, you.
Yeah.
Me.
They say there is a mass spiritual awakening as well.
Yeah.
Like not one of those fake things where like, you know, some white chick does yoga and she thinks her
Right.
chakra has now opened
Yeah,
up for
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
that, but like actual spiritual awakening where they kind of see past the illusions, because we do live through daily illusions. Don't you think? Capitalism, over consuming goods, these are all illusions that they've created, right? Like that, let's take for an example, you have, let's say, a Corolla, but there's also a Merc, right? Both serve the same purpose,
Same.
just the fact that they have different, you know, features,
Brands and features.
brands and the level of prestige that you
Right.
can
Yeah,
perceive,
yeah.
right? So, yes, a Merc is much better, but don't you think it's an illusion that you're going through on a daily basis as well? Yes, comfort is cool, speed is great, I love speed, I love driving, I love, you know, racing, but at the same time, it all comes down to the fact that it's a basic purpose that these vehicles serve, right? So to, you know, make people consume more, you create illusions, right? This is luxurious, you know, you look hot if you're like, you know, driving a Merc, and those illusions eventually become your reality.
That is the, I mean, that's the sad reality of what's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I know that was honestly.
Yeah, that's good. So you mentioned capitalism and, you know, having this feeling to want to one up each other, you know, by buying the latest car, by buying better clothes than the other person.
Yeah.
Is this really capitalism, or is this the natural development of our competitiveness, which we carry from our Stone Age, you know, from hunter-gatherer times?
It's our natural thing that's being targeted by capitalism to take over.
Exploiting the basic instincts.
So, who do you think, what are the drivers of capitalism? Is it the 5 deadly sins?
Yeah, that and money.
So that basically people have brought this upon themselves.
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much.
Yeah. Nobody know.
'Cause you know
no
why?
God invented a business, you know.
Because you know why? We just spoke about it all this time.
It's because God.
No.
There is no.
That is also a thing, but
Right.
no one believes in religion anymore.
No one believes in religion anymore.
Religion is what brings balance to our lives. If you check back in the day, everybody was, I mean, obviously they had conflicts, but they were calm. There was a sense of clarity. Now if you take a person, they're so confused. If you talk to a person, they don't know what they want in their life.
One day they want to be a hermit, the next day they want to be an entrepreneur, the next day they want to be a model.
Hence why I want to be a phone, I identify as a umbrella. It's out of control.
Is it true though? Was the past actually better than the times that we are living in right now?
Well,
Wasn't there massacres? Wasn't
Exactly.
there wars? Like still there's wars going on, but was the past any better?
it wasn't exactly better, I think. But the thing is, like, we've passed through so many civilizations.
Yeah, sorry.
And we were like more advanced. See, the thing is, like back in the day, like let's say when we take India, nowadays most people scoff at like old Indian traditions and rituals, right? But I was like doing research on them and they're incredibly backed by science. Even, have you seen, like we have them in Sri Lanka also, you know those yantara that people wear, people hang on walls. They're made of copper, right? You don't know that SIMs are made of copper as well, like the phone SIMs that we use.
Yeah.
Copper is like a conductor
It's
of
conductor,
energy.
electricity, yeah.
So basically, those things are written on copper leaves is to conduct and absorb energy and conduct them. So let's say you wear it. Like let's say it's written in like certain sacred designs and patterns. It harnesses energy, good energy, and it circulates around your body. Circulates around your home. So they may be super simple and like, you know, people scoff at ancient rituals like that, but they are incredibly backed by like modern scientific, like they are backed by science also. When you do research, it makes a lot of sense. I don't know whether you've seen this as this.
You mean, when you say they're backed by science, you mean our ancestors knew by intuition that they had
Exactly.
some good benefit, right?
Exactly.
But they couldn't prove it scientifically.
They could prove it science because, like, you know, nowadays it, like you can scan something, you can, you know, put it through an X-ray machine and, you know, carbon date it and all that. But back then, like, they were more in tune with nature. I think they were intellectually more developed than us also, because nowadays even if we meditate and we come to a certain level, you take up the phone, the next thing you know, all
pretty much
that,
your concentration is gone.
all
So
the development is like it crashes back.
basically, what modern day society is doing is like we are using less and less of our brain.
Yeah.
And how far do you think you can push our brain down?
Yeah.
Because it adapts, bro. It rewires itself. And just to come back, I just want to digress just for a second to come back to, you know, when you said like back in the day, was it any better from now?
Yeah.
I would say back in the day it's better, Masha. Because when someone invaded a country or someone had a, you know, wanted to take over a place, there was an agenda to it. Either it's good or bad.
Right.
Nowadays the warfare, it's happening everywhere in the world. But this warfare is something that you can't see. I mean, you can technically see it, but it's the war against your mind, bro. Your phone, there's the weapon. They've given the weapon right to your hand. And you can see how much of society is degrading. This is worse than conquering another country.
Right.
This is really bad. And we are going into okay, back in the day when they conquered, there was never a paradigm shift in society. But nowadays we are going into a place where we are accepting the stuff that we should not be accepting, all because social media is normalizing everything now. And then where do you think human evolution is going to go next after this? It's going to be a very boring place to live in. I hope I'm not around to see it.
Yeah, same here. Because
So
this is getting colorless. Like, you know, there's no
it's gonna be a
flavor,
very
no
bland
color.
world.
So if everything is going down the drain,
Yeah.
so basically the Zionist concept is that God is going to come back, and even in
Hinduism,
like
it's
Hinduism,
believed.
that
In Christianity.
yeah, Lord Vishnu's and
Next
avatar
incarnation
is
is
going to
gonna
come back. Incarnation.
Come.
And also for Lord Buddha as well, there's going to be Maitri Buddha.
Yeah.
They're going to come. He's going to come back. So, how do you think the world is going to be when they're here? Is it just completely corrupt, or is it a? How do you see that?
I think it's a point where people lose faith. So from like judging from the past couple of like occasions, right? Like I've read like the old books where they mention how like the Lord Vishnu is born, like especially like let's say Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna's life story. So what happens is corruption comes to an all-time high, and people can't bear up the consequences of it. So what happens is when you go down a deep, like, okay, let's say you completely lose faith and you're going through a really bad time and there's so much corruption, so much evil, then you start believing in a higher power again. You wish that things would get better. You hope for something, right? That hope, it helps you connect with the higher power. Because you start praying. Subconsciously you start praying.
Right.
Someone's going to hear your prayers, right? That is when Lord Vishnu, let's say the next Lord Buddha, Jesus Christ, they decide to come back.
Is it going to be on the same planet? Because I know that we are using up our planet and we are not going. It's not going to last for long. So is it going to be the same planet, or is it going to be in Mars? How do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be, I'm not really sure about that because we only talk about Earth, right?
Yeah.
But there's so many different dimensions. It's been even proven that there are dimensions and even though we can't, that we can't see 90% of the things around us, right?
Yeah. Exactly. For them, it's like, okay, this objective, go do that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with our society. We try to incorporate a lot of Westernism into us, but it doesn't work for us.
Those ideals are Western ideology and Eastern ideology are two different things.
Totally
Exactly,
different
but
thing.
we are trying to make both work and then there's chaos.
And you can talk their language, you can dress like them, but your thinking pattern is going to be
Eastern.
Yeah,
Exactly.
There is no
That's
way.
why our country has been in so much conflict.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 That's it.
See, that's the thing. So we should not. Honestly, we should try to grasp something from Western culture, but not everything.
not everything.
Yeah, it doesn't work like, and we have an amazing culture. Like, see, the thing is, we've forgotten the better parts of our culture,
Exactly.
right? Because we are naturally friendly people. Our hospitality is top notch. But the thing is, because of Western culture, see, Western culture is all about let's get this done. It's like all business, right? We are trying to go past our natural warm nature and try to be people we are not, which is making us miserable. Do you see American people gathering by their neighborhoods at 5 p.m. to play cricket?
I guess
You
if
see
it's
them
the ghetto,
exchanging food? They don't, right?
They don't do that stuff.
Yeah, they don't even say
They
hi
won't.
most of the
Even
time.
if you fall down, they won't help much.
Yeah.
it's only in the low income neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's the thing. So, but here in Sri Lanka, will you ever see people carrying each other plates of food for Aurudu? Vesak, we have Dansal, that's a very
But
unique
that's actually,
thing.
it's actually reducing now.
Yeah, because people can't afford to make camera
Yeah,
and stuff.
that's-
Yeah, like the price of those things keep going up. So it's sad because it's a lifelong tradition. But a good thing is that I've seen a lot of dance. You saw this time
Yeah,
Fasala
this
Poya,
time Fasala, it was- they- people
8,000
don't even
plus
usually
get-
dance.
Ridiculous,
That's
That's it.
amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are very heartwarming things to see,
Yeah.
right? I love those stuff
So,
because it makes you feel more Sri Lankan, right? Our patriotism just keeps going down because we don't have an identity. We have an identity crisis
Exactly,
sometimes.
it's not communicated properly,
Yeah.
you know. Like being a Sri Lankan is awesome. We are the most unique people on the planet.
Yeah.
But what are we sometimes? We
Yeah.
feel lost because we try to incorporate everything that comes by our way. We see
Exactly.
hustle culture, we try to get that. We see influencers, we try to become that.
That.
We want to, I don't know, see some new other thing, we bring that down also.
And honestly, I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe it's throughout time, we are just wired to do the wrong thing, Masha. So just imagine now. Okay, let's talk about our politicians. I'm not gonna insult them or anything, but they're all doing all the wrong thing.
Right.
But they're so good at it.
Right.
What if they were wired to do the right thing, Masha? Imagine where our country could
Yeah.
be if they decided to do the right thing.
I think politicians are actually the conscious people of society
Who's
who
using
understands
them?
the intricate details, the intricacies, but they are only using that to gain political power.
Exactly. So like I said, they are doing that
Yeah.
for their own benefit.
Yeah.
So that's something wrong. But what if they harness that energy for doing something good?
Yeah, for the common, like for everybody as a whole, for the country.
But if you are in a pool infested by sharks,
That's the other problem.
what's the option that you have? Do you want to be a helpless human, an innocent guy, or do you want to turn into a shark?
You obviously turn into a shark because otherwise
Exactly,
you get
it's
killed.
your survival game. And people have been killed in the past when they've
Of
tried to
course.
make positive change.
Yeah.
Every time it happens because, you're eventually powerless.
Name one person in history who has conquered politics. This was said by Elon Musk's father, right? Because Elon Musk is trying to enter into politics, and he asked the reporter, name one person. He might be a genius, he might be a big shot, but name one person in history who has conquered politics. Is it Charlemagne? Is it Genghis Khan? Who has conquered politics?
No one
Actually,
really.
no one, yeah.
Nobody can conquer it.
Because everyone is bound to be corrupted at one point
At
in
one
their
point.
life, yeah. If they are not corrupted, they are killed.
There are guys who swim laps,
Yeah.
but eventually they get tired and they get eaten by the shark.
You just give into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like us working at our offices.
Exactly.
We
You
get worn
either get
down.
out or get,
Yeah,
give
I
in.
think
Exactly.
we play a lot. It's just a micro thing that's.
Office
a
politics
major thing.
exist as well, right?
Exactly.
There's politics everywhere.
And
The sad
politics
part is
everywhere.
this is dirty politics.
Yeah, so you have to play dirty to be successful or
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah.
That's a sad thing. But if everybody as a whole starts thinking differently, I mean, it's easier said than done because changing people's mentality is a mammoth, almost impossible
It's
task,
impossible.
right? Yeah. Like, see, what we were talking about in the morning, like rewiring our negative thoughts, right? It's a process and it's taking a lot of effort. Now, let's say, like, the three of us, I think we have a substantial amount of free time in our hands in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, like, we don't have to rush to work, right?
Yeah.
Because of that, we have the patience, we have the time, the freedom to consciously rewire our thoughts. Now, imagine if I was going for a 9 to 5, the first thing I would do is panic, be like, okay, I have to do this, that in the morning, I'm already stressed. Then I check my phone, I see so many notifications,
Yeah.
I'm even more stressed. Next thing you know, positive thinking has gone out of
It's
the...
out of the picture. They actually say not to look at your phone the first thing you wake up.
Exactly, but unfortunately, if you're working a 9 to 5, if you don't look at your phone within
have
the
big
first hour,
problems.
you are done for.
Pretty
Especially
much.
if there's something that goes down in the middle of the night and I don't see the update in the morning. If I walk in with a fresh mind, I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Within the first hour that I walk into work.
I admit that if you can start your day off by lighting an oil lamp or
Yeah.
praying to God.
I mean, that is what
Exactly.
used to be done in households.
Yeah.
And that
I
is
do
still
that
what
now.
happens.
Exactly. Yeah.
We light the
Yeah.
candle.
That has a positive effect.
Yeah.
It has a
does.
very positive effect. So that's what I do. I wake up early in the morning, I clean the house, I light the oil lamp, I pray, I place some flowers, light the incense sticks. I do all that and it makes me feel really good. And there's a very good positive effect from that. Rather than, waking up like, oh God.
That's a subconscious rewiring, right?
Yeah.
And I think people should do it as well. I know it'll feel like, it feels, I don't know, you get a sense of cringe. Like,
Even-
Yeah, that's a thing that
but-
has been conditioned
yeah,
for
that's
us to
what's
believe.
been conditioned.
Yeah, it's what is more cool if you see, like, let's say, oh yeah, I hit the gym early in the morning, I went to get my smoothie bowl, or else you go and say, I lit the oil lamp and said my prayers, pansil gaptai. What's more cooler for you?
I feel whatever we want to achieve is on the other side of cringe. Now, even if you like take a look at this, we are like, this could seem cringe to some people.
Yeah, and honestly, for us also, like, even at the back of our heads, we feel cringe, but we are pushing through it.
We are human, right?
We are humans. We are going through emotions.
Yeah. Even I feel like maybe if we had a comment saying, "Who the fuck are these guys?" to
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's okay. But because we are challenging something.
Yeah, but we are challenging ourselves.
Yeah,
and we are
challenging ourselves.
Sort of an aragalia within ourselves.
Exactly.
Within ourselves.
And
because
it's nothing harmful, right? It's basically about our religious beliefs. And see, me lighting the oil lamp at home doesn't mean that the neighborhood is going to be set on fire, right?
Yeah.
Simple as that. If it's what I believe in is that if what you believe in doesn't cause anybody else harm, and it brings you profound sense of peace and it helps you go down a better path in life, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Religion might be cringe to some people, but if it helps you, it works.
Exactly.
It works.
And the reason why people think it's cringe is because of the way the world has been conditioned.
Exactly.
See, like big corporates or like manufacturers, like those, even tech giants, right? Who would go on Facebook if you think praying is cool all the time? If you think that there's a higher power
that
engineering
actually makes a lot of sense. Like, what tech giant has ever come out and spoken about God?
Yeah, they think that their search engines are gods, right? That's pretty much it.
Nobody, right?
Nobody says. Because most of them are atheists and they believe that hard work. Yes, obviously, just because you have faith doesn't mean that you will go places. You have to put in the hard work. But at the same time, you need a lot of faith also.
Yeah, I think faith is a good, like a
faith
glue
is
that,
fuel.
Yeah, it holds everything
faith
together.
Faith is really good. Faith is something we all need. It's something that we need to embody. And it creates love, forgiveness, and caring towards others.
You become more considerate about other people.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, that's what we all need, is to be loved and cared. No matter what we do, no matter how poor we are, no matter how rich we are, we need emotions and we need love. Love is the key to life.
Exactly, and it makes you feel more grateful. Now imagine, for example, like if I'm always thinking about just job and numbers, I'd be like, okay, today, let's say for example, I got like 100,000 as my monthly salary. I was like, whatever, I wish I had 150. When I have 150, I think I want 200, right? I never stop and I don't express gratitude for what I have in life. Religion plays a big role in gratitude because when you pray and you get a very positive vibe out of it, you thank the higher power above you, whoever you believe in as well, because you believe that they guide you. Yes, they do actually, because you need somebody to guide you. You are not just put here out of coincidence. You were not born as a coincidence, right? We all have a plan for us. We go through it, we trust it, and we surrender it, and with good intentions we move forward, and then nothing happens. Look at karma, for example. If you think that only numbers matter and this and that, let's say you run a factory. You treat people like absolute shit, right? You exploit them, you don't pay them well. By what you earn billions in profit, right? That will eventually rebound upon you in unspeakable ways.
And people will start saying bad things about you, and then you will lose contracts. Then the karma will automatically come back again.
Exactly. I've seen so many people like that, they collapse because they don't believe in karma. They're like, I work hard, I'm a hustler, nothing, I reshape my own destiny. Yes, you can, but not by screwing people over, but by being fair and honest and being kind.
So we really, I think in the latter part of the 21st century, I think everyone should turn towards religion, and I think religion conquers all, because religion was there since the beginning of time, and to deny religion in this time is the worst thing you can do. Everyone should turn towards religion. It'll make a massive difference. It made a difference in me in a way where I am now forgiving the people that hate me. I'm praying for them to have a better life as well. I mean, for me to let go of that hate and to pray for them is a massive win for me. I genuinely want them to be happy, and I want my friends to be happy.
Right.
And that's the end of it.
So basically, I believe pretty much the same things. But also I think that there are other people with other opinions. Of course, we
Yeah, and
respect
that's
all of
totally
Yeah, of
fine.
course.
Everyone needs to have an opinion.
that. Exactly. And we're all just trying our best.
Yeah.
We're trying to get by, and we're trying to make things work. And if
And-
you have a formula that works,
And
good for you.
maybe
Exactly.
it might not make sense to people,
Yeah.
but does life really make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and life rarely makes sense.
Life doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. It's the fact that we are going through so much pressure is that we are trying to make sense of life.
Right.
Exactly.
Yet we don't try to live day by day. We're just trying to find purpose and try to change something to get something better.
Right.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
really you don't realize what you have is the best thing you can.
Yeah.
You can breathe. You have good eyes. You have everything that's provided for you by
Yeah,
God.
functioning limbs.
Yeah.
I think that itself is it's a blessing. It's a huge blessing in itself. Because as people going through so much these days, that yes, we are stressed out too. We are trying to get by as well, but we also have to stop and count our blessings as well. These things could have been
I do
worse.
agree that as a society we do need to start appreciating what we have and surrendering to life in general, and also finding our purpose, and that purpose can only be found in surrender.
Yeah.
And that's just I
When
think
we
it's
slow
good-
down
good-
and think,
Yeah.
because as humans we are not meant to rush like this.
We're not.
We're never meant to rush. We're meant to pause, think and reflect, because we are intelligent beings, right? But we are working like machines.
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
If everything was working well, we would not be having this conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
If everything was working out.
Right. We're having this conversation sort of as a therapy for us as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a therapy for us because
Yeah.
we're talking about what we want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I hope that people who watch this can actually relate to some of it. I'm not going to say they have to relate to every single word we
Yeah,
say.
exactly.
But I feel like it can help you.
Yeah.
It does help.
Yeah, and get together with your friends and start
Yeah.
podcasts. Put it
Or
on the
just
internet.
talk,
Yeah.
go out for tea or coffee and just start
Yeah.
talking, because we lack human connection so much.
So much.
Yeah, and it will feel very therapeutic once you start
Yeah.
talking to your friends.
Trust me, the connection between humans, it cannot be measured to what you see on social media or what you swipe and the dopamine effect you get.
It's deeper
It's a
than that.
totally different feeling which transcends you to a next level.
Actually.
Like me, after spending time with you guys, I go home, I feel like
Good.
I feel like a missing part of me is filled.
Right.
And whenever I drop my friend a text or when I meet my friend, I always give him a hug.
Yeah.
Because that makes me feel good and that creates a stronger bond between us as well.
Right. It recharges you, ne?
Yeah. That is how we can counter stress.
Yeah.
That is how we can counter life to have a better one. So I feel like we need to, even though it's hard, sometimes you say, you tried so much to make connection. You should keep on trying, Masha.
And you will find it.
Yeah, eventually that one person will click and then you guys are going to be bonded for life.
Right.
And that you will spread with somebody else as well.
Yeah.
And it will keep on spreading and create a monoculture there itself. So
That's so true.
Yeah.
I think we should never stop reaching out. Don't be an asshole to people. I know, obviously when we were young, we were a little bit of an asshole as well.
I think everybody has a dark
Yeah,
side.
we have
None
our
of us
phase.
are perfect.
Right.
We're not angels.
But I think being kind is a massive win these days. It's to be a man. I'm sorry, I'm not putting you down or anything. But I think men
I understand what you're saying,
Men
so-
are perceived to be like macho and strong. No, being kind and compassionate and actually loving and caring, that's the most, in my opinion, is the most manliest thing you can do.
I think masculinity is misinterpreted to be ruthless and cold,
Yeah.
whereas it's supposed to be you being able to stand up for yourself and the people you love, right? That doesn't essentially mean you're a ruthless, evil person.
Yeah.
So it's been warped into something that's a bit toxic.
And who knows, okay, if you check millions of years ago, they had to hunt and all that.
Exactly.
That's because they had to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why does that translate to now? For instance, did you know, certain facts can be wrong. Did you know, they say dinosaurs actually come from chickens, right? Chickens transcend into dinosaurs,
Yeah, they
right?
say
But
that.
that's actually not true.
Yeah.
The archaeologist team that was doing that dig
Uh-huh.
had fried chicken every single day.
Really?
That fried chicken contaminated the bones. So they got an
No.
exact DNA match of chickens.
My goodness.
And we were talking about this in 2019, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But now they've proven it otherwise.
Yeah, so who's to say a lot of things in life are wrong?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, see, a large part of history might have been lost or erased or forgotten, right? There is probably a very fraction a very tiny portion of things that we actually know about the world.
Yeah. But I'm just going to close on one note. The only thing that stays consistent in the world is every single religion.
Right.
Because what they described back in the day is actually happening now.
Yeah.
Do you believe that religion has already uncovered things, but they have interpreted it in a different way?
Yeah.
Whereas science is still trying to
Figure things
uncover,
out.
figure
Yeah.
things out.
Yeah.
Because science can't prove everything. It's really tough for them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they could make mistakes as well.
Yeah, they make mistakes.
Science is
But that does not
something
mean
that's
that-
very rigid, right? It's a very narrow-minded
Right.
science. It's because it's always trying to find reasoning. Sometimes you can't explain certain things. That
Right.
good feeling you get when you pray, can you put a word to it?
No.
Exactly.
But like there's some pretty outrageous stuff in religious literature as well.
Of course,
that
because-
have to
Yeah,
be
see,
given.
it's like this. It's not like everything that religion says is true. You need to understand as a human being to take what's good and bad. There are
Exactly.
certain things in religion, like certain aspects that I'm also not in agreement with.
Yeah, so you
But-
can open the Bible and you can think about some bad stuff and you can interpret it into your own view.
Yeah.
Literature is like that, right?
Yeah, that's anything. Basically,
Exactly,
anything you can
anything.
take it in a different way.
Yeah.
It's just that what you want to, you will manifest the Bible or anything you read based on who you are as a person.
Exactly.
If you are a good person, you will absorb the good. If you're a bad person, you will absorb the bad.
So if you take your mind out of the gutter, everything
Yeah,
will be fine.
Exactly.
You have to go without any sort of, any sort of intention. Just read it, and you will feel a sense of love in any religion you will read.
And you know how, like in Buddhism, there are several states of consciousness before, enlightenment, right? We have Sowan, Sakurdagami, it goes like that.
Yeah.
So you attain those, states of mind either by meditating or you start realizing things, right? When you let go of certain, attachments.
Yeah.
So let's say this is like me and one of my friends, we are listening to the same sermon,
Right.
the same Buddhist sermon. I could probably attain Sowanhood by listening to it, but my friend might not feel anything.
Anything.
That's the way we perceive things. That's the way we understand things. It happens. So what
sense.
helped me achieve a higher state of, intelligence might mean nothing to him because his level of intelligence and my level of intelligence or the way we perceive things are extremely different.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, those are really good things to think about. Religion, mental health, monoculture. Those are just few things. I mean, these are just what we're just talking about, random stuff.
Right.
But these are actual stuff which is happening in society right now. And I hope people also can resonate with us and understand the sort of thing that we are going through as well. I mean, because we are also people, we are not big influencers or anything like
Yeah,
that.
it's just
Yeah.
like we're just
We're just
talking,
normal
we're just
people.
expressing
We're just
things.
talking about how we feel. And sometimes it might sound random for people,
Right.
but it actually helps,
Yeah.
I think it does resonate with a lot of people. It's just the fact that most people don't know how to put it into words.
Exactly.
Or they don't know how to assemble their thoughts.
Exactly.
And even for us, even I was thinking about this for the longest time. But until I spoke with you guys, I didn't realize what I was going through.
Exactly.
You get
Now
what I
we
mean?
all opened up. So basically, clarity is not good for capitalism, right? If you have clarity,
That's why we
The
always
people
confused.
would not be leasing cars.
exactly.
Yeah, they'd be like, why am I caught in like a 5-year commitment to just, drive a vehicle. I understand it's a necessity. We need a
Right.
vehicle to move. But at the same time, like the amount of stress it causes you, the level of commitment, and to go for even a bigger lease for a fancier car.
Yeah.
So you would start to let go of things that you don't want, and you only consume the things that you need. That causes a collapse in the economic system.
And in yourself as well.
True.
All right. So clarity over currency.
Clarity
you
over
go.
currency.
Simple as that.
If you find clarity, currency will automatically come to you.
Automatically come to you.
Actually.
Okay, then on that note, I guess we can end.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Time
mean,
to wrap things up.
there's not going to be any sort of informal end. We're just going to say
Yeah.
goodbye and cut the cameras. So we'll catch you on the next episode.
On the next
and-
step.
Yeah, so I mean, let us know what you guys think. Right?
Yeah.
If it was shit or if it was good, just let us
Or
know.
if you
It's-
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
something, or if you gotta, put some input into what we talked about.
Yeah, and if there's some things that we can improve on, and if you connected with us and you agree with us, I mean, anything, bad or good.
Or if you want
we're
to put
okay
an
with it.
insult on there and make yourself feel better,
Yeah.
go
And if you
ahead.
don't want to watch it, I mean, that's fine too. You have your own thing going on, but honestly, we hope everyone has a great day, and God bless all of you. And I don't know what your enchant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
It's
Yeah,
the same
God
thing.
bless you too.
Triple Jim bless
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
or
be
everything.
well.
Anything. Yeah.
As
May the
long
higher
as-
power bless you all.
Okay.
Exactly.
intro outro එකයි ගන්නවද ඔයාලා? එපා නේ. ඒක කට් කරලා දාන්න.
Cut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just.
Okay
taking-
then. අපි එහෙනම් බයි එකක් දාමුනේ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys on the next episode.
Yep, I hope you guys enjoyed it.